jump off the Empire State Building about him. I really don't care. I hate to sound like my brother Free, but I'm learning. You know what? From now on, I'm gonna stop putting my hopes in fighters because I've seen Boots Ennis, who did all this talking. He wants to be great. He has this and that, and what is he doing? Fighting a guy who worked at Max's Cheese Steak sweeping up at night. I mean, I'm not going. I'm not going to. I got to do like the Puerto Rican man. I'm not going to expect nothing, man, because every time I do, something happens. Just like I got confirmation today from somebody right there in the situation. T.O. turned down $15 million to fight Shakur Sanchez. fifteen
Yeah,
million
I heard
dollars.
that. I heard that too. I
That's
saw
a
that a
that's
couple
a
of days
fact,
ago.
Free. That's not no maybe. That's a fact.
Yeah, no, I saw that report a couple of days ago. I just didn't say nothing about it because I thought we was going to do a show about it, but we ain't never do nothing. So I just left it quiet. I saw that a couple of days ago.
I'll be honest. I tried to give racists and people who wish my culture harm any place. So that's why if you notice, I don't even bring up Tiafimo's name at all because I think he's garbage. And I think that whole banana and the monkey bull crap, that was whack, man. That was whack.
Yeah,
And I'll never forget that. So that's why you
yeah,
don't really that's why I didn't bring it up. I'm not we don't talk about racists, man. They can go to
yeah.
hell.
Say he's another one that outside of Loma and Josh Taylor,
Hmm.
outside of those two guys, he hasn't fought anybody neither. And I've been saying this for a long time. They're like, "Oh, y'all being too hard on T.O. T.O.'s a good talent." I'm not saying T.O.'s a bad talent, a bad fighter. I'm saying outside of Loma and Josh Taylor, he hasn't fought anybody neither. That man ain't fought nobody. He fought Josh Taylor and Loma, and everybody just ran out the stadium with those two wins and said, "Oh, T.O. is the best guy. This best guy that." That man, y'all forgot the man played around with Devin Haney so long that he ended up losing to George Kambosos because he played around and he thought he was better than the sport of boxing.
Hmm.
So I mean, you have these guys that they think they bigger than what the sport is because they get to a certain level or they beat a certain fighter. But when you beat that fighter, that's not the end of the road. It's still more fights to be made after that. That's just the beginning. And I tell people all the time, once you get to the mountaintop, it's hard to get to the mountaintop, but it's even harder to stay at the mountaintop. You gotta stay there. So when T.O. beat Loma, the way he was supposed to back it up was to fight Devin Haney, then try to push for a fight with a Tank Davis. That's what he was supposed to do. But no,
Hmm.
he decided to go fight George Kambosos, and then he moved to 140 and fought a bunch of guys that nobody really cared to see him in the ring with. And then he got a Josh Taylor when we already knew that Josh Taylor was at 140 way too long, and he looked like a shell of himself when he fought Jack Catterall. So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, he got credit for beating him, but it wasn't like he was beating the best Josh Taylor we ever seen.
I think the funny thing about it, Free, and you guys know I hate to get his Puerto Rican brother any credit, but this is Beanie Free we talking to because he really dropped us some knowledge tonight. And I just got to be real. I never thought of it that way because I seen T.O. doing like that Floyd stuff. And when you say Floyd stuff, what do you mean, BB? I mean just taking fights he got no business taking. He went in there and fought Lomachenko, beat him. Went in there and really we never seen anybody do Josh Taylor like that. Jack Catterall didn't do him like T.O. did he? So that gets me. But the fact that he would turn down Shakur Sanchez, they had a $15 million guarantee, and they were going to send him 40% of the money up front. I talked to someone that's in that building. He had a chance to get 40% of the money up front, and he turned it down to fight Shakur. They were going to fight. I think it was February. I want to say it was at the second or third week of February. It was going to be like a fight. They was going to do some type of heritage stuff. They was going to try to put together with it, but I don't know, man. I just can't believe he turned that down. Then he turned down Devin Haney. But let me ask you this: what do you think about Boots Ennis, aka Mighty Mouse, turning down more fights than we've seen in recent memory? Turning down Devin Haney, turning down Brian Norman Jr., turning down Teofimo Lopez. I mean, turning down Virgil Ortiz. At this point, what should we do, man? What do you think we should do with Boots? Can you hear me, Free? I don't know if Free can hear me.
My bad. I had a
Okay,
phone call. Yeah,
go
I'm
ahead.
back.
No, what I was saying is, what do you think we're gonna do with Boots, man? All these fights he didn't turn down now, and now he want a tune up. What do you think about
Um,
What you gonna do with Boots?
nah, I mean, I'm not mad at him getting a tune up, but like I said, I prefer him getting a bigger name as a tune up. But I'm not mad with him taking a tune up. He's moving to a new weight class that he never fought at. I'm not mad at him getting a tune up. I mean that's the smart thing to do. I mean we see it in every aspect of sports. You see the preseason. That was their tune-up getting ready for the next season. We see the NBA have their preseason. We see baseball have their preseason. Everybody have a tune-up to get ready for their their new season or their new division. That's usually what happens. People expect the best guys who they believe are the best guys to just jump right in there with one of the top guys or the champion or whatever have you. Yeah, that's kudos to the fighters that do it, but that's not necessarily a smart move. It's not necessarily a smart move. You move into a brand new weight class and you get in there with one of the best guys at a weight class you never fought before. You don't know how your body going to react at that weight. You don't know how your speed is going to be, and none of that. Your reflexes, none of that. So yeah, it's not a smart move, but kudos to the ones that do it. But I'm not mad if you take a tune up. Now, what I expect after this tune up, I expect you to press for these bigger fights. Now, what I do like is the fact that they said they did sign their portion to agree to fight Virgil Ortiz after this fight at the beginning of 2026. After this fight is over with, that is the next fight that they're pushing for, is the Virgil Ortiz. So I am happy about that, but I'm not upset that he's taking a tune up um, because that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, I guess the part that's so confusing to me, man, is at what point is he gonna like realize that he's run out of time, or you think that's overstated?
I don't think he's running out of time because the man is only what 28 years old. He still got a lot of boxing left. Still got a lot of boxing left. So I'm not saying he's running out of time because he haven't. It's not like he's been in a bunch of wars and he's being worn down, and then when he get to his early 30s or his mid 30s, he's going to be a old fighter because he's not taking a lot of punishment. So, and like I said, he's only 28 years old. He still got a lot of boxing ahead of him, depending on how far he want to go in this career. He still has a lot of boxing ahead of him because most guys usually fight somewhere between 30 up until they about 35 and 40 years old. That's usually around the time frame where they decide they want to get out of the sport of boxing. And if that is the case, that's still another 7 years for Jerome Business before he turned 35 years old. So he still got a lot of boxing ahead of him.
It's weird because maybe it's just me. It feel like these guys went from fighting at least once a year to now some are fighting every year and a half. I feel like it's just that's not no way to have no career, man. One fight a year. I thought
Yeah,
that was only
I agree.
reserved for like the champions.
Yeah, I told you that's how these fighters are moving now because when they get to a certain level and they start making a certain amount of money, they like I don't have to put my body through all that punishment. I'm making enough money where I don't need to fight no more this year. I can fight next year, or I could take a 6 or 7 month break and then come back and fight again. So that's where we at in the sport of boxing because these guys are making so much money back in the days, back in the 90s and the 80s, these guys wasn't making that much money. You had some that was making millions of dollars, but not the vast majority of them. Or I ain't gonna say the vast majority, but not the vast majority of the bigger name fighters. They wasn't making those $1 million bags. So when you're a fighter and you're a big name fighter and you only getting $200,000 a fight. Nigga like, oh, okay, 200,000, yeah, that's good, but I got a lot of stuff that I gotta take care of, and I still gotta pay my camp and all that. I need to get some more fights in. So you would see guys fight 3 or 4 times in the 80s and in the early 90s because they wasn't getting paid the millions of dollars that a lot of these guys are getting paid nowadays.
Yeah, it's crazy now because you're seeing guys make a lot of money, but you're not seeing a better product. It's like the product is getting worse and worse. I can't remember the fight, but there was a fight. These two brothers fought, and after the one guy, I think he almost passed away in the ring. They moved the fights down to 12 rounds. I think boxing should go back to 15 rounds, man. I think that might give us a spark. What do you think?
Nah, these guys, a lot of these guys won't be able to make it 15 rounds. A lot of these guys, I mean, we would never see it go back to 15 rounds because of the punishment a lot of these guys take in the ring. That's the reason why they moved it down to 12 rounds because these guys was taking too much punishment. And so you add on another 9 minutes of these guys getting punished in the ring. And some of these guys are warriors. They're not going to quit. They're going to keep fighting. They're going to say, I still have a chance to land this one lucky punch or this one shot, and so they're not going to give up. So their body is just taking more punishment, and so that's causing more damage to these people's mentals, to these people's bodies and things like that. So we're never going to see them go back to 15 rounds. You might see somebody sign up for a 15 round fight, but you're never going to see the boxing industry go back to 15 rounds.
For, uh,
Your mic breaking up a little bit, BBO. What's going on, High Rod?
Yo,
Yeah, I can hear you.
this Mike tripping.
Yeah, yeah. His mic going in and out. He's gonna probably have to drop off and come back here.
But I totally disagree, OG. I'm one of maybe it's just me, or maybe you think how I think too. Because I'm one of them types. I don't fight, I don't get paid. So I'm trying to fight as many fights as I can. That's a paycheck every time. Whether
Right.
whether
No,
uh, whether whether if I'm in a big fight or I'm having a stay busy fight. I'm trying to fight because that's how I get this day job. So I'm not even understanding if that's their logic of thinking. OG, I think that's stupid because you can make way more money if you just stay busy. Even if you're not getting the same amount as you would in a big fight, you still getting a paycheck. That's better than $0. You know, I'd rather stay busy. OG, I ain't gonna lie.
no, no. I agree with you. I mean that's the fighter mentality when they first get into the sport of boxing. But when they're putting their body through so much damage and so much pressure, making it to that level to where they can get millions of dollars for a single fight, they like, okay, well, I made it to the point where now every fight I'm fighting and I'm getting millions of dollars. I don't have to fight as much. I don't have to put my body through all of that wear and tear every training camp, every single fight, because now all I need is 1 or 2 fights and I'm making twice, maybe even 4 times the amount of money that I was making fighting 3 or 4 times a year.
I'm doing what Canelo did. Canelo making more money than all these fools, and he was fighting 3 times a year because that was three guaranteed big paychecks. I'm not fighting once a year, OG. I don't. To me, that's just dumb. To me, the fighter is doing himself a disservice. Like Tia Female, he's doing himself a disservice. Why are you only fighting once a year? All these big somewhat names where we talk about every day, they doing themselves a disservice, in my opinion, only fighting once a year. You're doing yourself a disservice, man. I don't know if you agree with that. What you think about that, OG? I think they doing themselves a disservice.
I mean, for the younger fighters, yeah. For the younger fighters, yeah, I think they're doing themselves a disservice. But when you get to like Bud and Canelo and Keith Thurman's age, when you're in your mid 30s, I don't think your body can go through all that fighting 3 or 4 times a year. I don't think your body can go there because if you look at Canelo, he's slowing down on how many fights he's fighting a year now. He's not fighting 3, 4 times a year. He's fighting twice. He's fighting every 6 months because his body is being worn down for fighting so much. We got to remember when he fought Floyd Mayweather, he already had 44 fights. Floyd was still in his 30s. He was still only had like 30 something fights. Canelo had 44 fights at what, 23 years old? He had 44 fights. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body. And it wasn't like Canelo was the Canelo we see now. Canelo, when he was younger, he was in a lot of wars. He was in a lot of wars. So it's a lot of wear and tear on your body. So when you get older, you can't put your body through that much wear and tear. Your body don't regenerate the way it did when you was in your early 20s or your mid 20s. Now it takes a longer time for your body to recoup and get back to 100%. So I mean, it's the same way when you was younger and you was able to eat a lot and lose weight. You didn't hold on to that weight. Now you in your 30s, you eat a lot. That extra 5 pounds wait around with you for a little while. It takes a little more working out to do. At first, you could just go outside and just walk a couple of blocks, and you lose that 5 pounds. I remember I was there. I could eat a lot and put on 5 pounds. By the end of the night, I lost that 5 pounds. But now I'm in my 40s. I eat a lot and put on 5 pounds. That 5 pounds gonna stay around for about a month or two, or until I work it out.
Yeah, I agree, OG. But Canelo, if you over 30 and you establish like the names you said, this don't apply to them. This apply to the guns that to the fighter that's under 30 that's only fighting once a year. Twice that's
Yeah,
only
I agree.
fighting once a year. Like you're not making no money, dog. I don't care if you make 10 million one fight. I'd rather be the other fighter that's making 7 million in 3 fights in one year. That's 7 million every time. That's 21 million.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the younger guys definitely need to be fighting more because we seeing these guys like Shakur Stevenson. People talking about Shakur is this, Shakur is that, and then you look at his resume. He fought 3 or 4 guys that you actually know, and then you look at how many fights he got. The man got less fights than his age. Shakur is 26, 27 years old. The man only got like 23 fights. And you're
He's
like,
doing himself a
man,
disservice. He's doing himself a
no,
big
why you
disservice.
only got 23 fights? You got a guy like Abdullah Mason that's about to have as many fights as Shakur got, and Abdullah Mason just turned 21. Abdullah Mason is fighting 4 or 5 times a year. But Shakur never been through that because Shakur was a silver medalist, so they put him on the fast track, and he didn't have to fight as hard as a guy like Abdullah Mason to get his name put out there. So these guys that we seeing, like a Jerron Booth Ennis or Abdullah Mason, that's when Jerron was coming up, Jerron was fighting 3 or 4 times a year. That's why you see Jerron at 28 years old got over 30 something fights because he was fighting a lot because he had to fight to get his name out there. Then once his name got out there, now we starting to see Jerron start to slow down on his activity as far as how many times he's fighting a year. But at first, Jerron was fighting 3 or 4 times a year. And same thing with Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason fights roughly around 4 to 5 times a year because they gotta work so much harder than these other guys that is pretty much being fast tracked. They gotta work a lot harder to get their name out there. So I mean, some guys get put on a fast track and some guys gotta work their way up there.
I think now today with Turk being in the picture, there's no excuse if you somewhat have a name or is demanding a nice little paycheck. There's no excuse for you not to fight a couple times a year, long as you take the competitive fights. Because Turkey gonna pay you. He already said that. He gonna pay you.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like BBO brought up. We see, I mean, this man, Tio, he had 2 fights that was offered to him. One fight was for $11 million. Another fight was for $15 million. He turned down both those fights, and both of those fights were guys that we wanted to see him fight. We wanted
No,
to see
no.
him fight a Devin Haney. We wanted to see him fight a Shakur Stevenson. He was getting the most money that he would have ever made in his career combined, and he turned both of
That's
those
some
fights
duck
down.
stuff, man. I like
Yeah,
T.O., but that's some duck stuff, man.
that's what I said. I said, see what a lot of people have gave these fighters credit for was calling out fighters instead of giving them credit. What the hell?
I don't know what.
Hey, so a lot of people gave fighters credit for calling out fighters instead of giving them credit for getting in the ring with fighters, and
See, and
that's where the roles shift. That's where the roles shift because I was giving people credit for who they beat. People was giving people credit for who they called out. Oh, but he called him out. But who has he been in the ring with? I don't care who he called out. Who has he been in the ring with? He can call out everybody he wants to. T.O. was calling out Tank Davis, Jerome Business, and Bud Crawford. Who has this man been in the ring with? This man got in the ring with daggone Steve Claggett. But we giving him credit because he called out Bud Crawford, he called out Jerome Business, he called out Tank. I don't give him credit, sir. I could call out Floyd all day, but I ain't fought Floyd.
What do you guys think about Lamont Roach calling out the great Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
It's a joke. It's a joke, man.
Why are you
I don't love boxing how y'all love it because my love is football. But for somebody that love boxing, I feel sorry for you because it's a joke. It's a joke what these fighters are doing to the sport that you guys love and been watching since y'all was a kid. I only been watching this for a couple years, dog. And this is not what I expected in this sport, bro. I'm thinking I'm about to get the best versus the best all the time, and dudes throwing down. Coach Malachi said it years ago. Boxing has turned to the WWE. It's turned into wrestling. It's a joke, bro. It's a joke, man. Lamont Roach called out Floyd Mayweather. It's a joke. It's a joke, bro.
Like I said, I mean, this tell you that Lamont Roach don't have the options that he claimed he had. Because this is the same thing. Lamont Roach was like, oh, I could fight Shakur Stevenson. I could fight Keyshawn Davis. Well, yeah, you could fight them, but who are you going to get in the ring with? You could fight those guys. But which one of them are you going to get in the ring with? Because he ain't getting in the ring with none of them.
Because Floyd offered Roach $900,000 to fight Camille Moulton. And he said Camille Moulton is too young. He'll fight him instead. Crazy.
How you gonna say somebody?
I'm talking about, man. That's the BS I'm talking about. That's $900,000. If he's too young, go beat him. That's an easy paycheck for you then. That's what I'm talking about, man. These dudes don't want to fight, man. These dudes just want to tweet all day.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like these guys get to a certain level, they made a certain amount of money. Now they like, oh, I don't have to do that. Why? Why you don't have to do that? If a person told me I'm giving you, I normally make somewhere around $70,000 to $80,000 a year. If a person told me I'm gonna give you $160,000 to do this 8-hour shift, and I'm gonna say, nah, I don't have to do that. I'm above that. I'm a vice president. I don't have to go out here and work an 8-hour shift. Nigga, what? I'm going out there and do that 8-hour shift. I don't care if it's in the worst neighborhood in DC. I'm going to do that 8-hour shift for $180,000. Man, you crazy.
Hey, what's going on? We got the Puerto Rican fight fan in the house. Puerto Rican fight fan. What you think about that? Oh, I think he might have fell down the steps.
It's just
my bad. I was on mute. Can you hear me now? Yeah, my bad.
We can hear you, OG.
Yeah, you guys been cooking and everybody has some really valid points. What I wanted to bring up was something that I think D Free brought up, and maybe some other person, I think BVO, about the 15-round fights. Keith Thurman did an interview a few months ago with Rich Mancuso. What I thought was pretty interesting, he brought up the fact that, when you talk about, these guys getting elevated to what they call a super champion, right? He said that, wouldn't it be cool if you really wanted to be something, a super champion, the word super, shouldn't that fight be a 15-round fight, something different than what we've been seeing with the 12-round fights? And I thought that was a genius idea. I thought, and then I said, and then in my mind, I was thinking, maybe unifications or maybe undisputed should be a little bit extra for, maybe a 15-round fight. So what do you think about that? Like in those special cases, instead of a 12-round fight for like a super champion or for like an undisputed, make an exception and go the extra 3 rounds.
I have no problem with that. I just don't know if the other fighters are going to agree to that. But I have no problem that me personally, what I think the sport of boxing need to do so we can get rid of a lot of these draws and things like that. I think they should make it a uneven round. It should be like 13 rounds or 11 rounds. When you got 12 rounds, that's where you get. That's why we have these draws because one guy won 6 rounds, another guy won 6 rounds. Well, it's a draw. Make it an uneven round so we can get a clear winner. We don't,
Like
I
13
don't
free.
like having 13 or 11. I mean, if you take off one less round,
You know
make
what
it
I should
11
do?
rounds.
You know what I would like, D Free, and shout out to all my brothers on the panel. You know what I would like? I would like for them to do this. If it is a draw, I would like the referees to look at the scorecard and say, hey, the fighter draw, we got to do an overtime round. And if there's like, as long as it's a 10-9 round, then, they will declare a winner. If there's the 9-9 round or both y'all got knocked down and Tommy TD from the Bronx is a judge and he says, and he's one of the judges, he write 9-9, then you run another round. Like that. That's the way they should do it. But I get it though. I feel you though, bro. With that 12 round stuff
But
is kind of corny.
yeah, I don't mind having
Sudden
um
death.
no. I'm talking about what CD was talking about with it being an undisputed fight or a super champion title fight. I don't mind it being more rounds because that shows you who is the better guy. If it's you got two champions fighting for unification,
Three
I
belts.
believe it I believe it should be more rounds or it should be different than what you would get in a normal fight. I think it should be different
What would
because
you do,
it's
D
more.
Free, if you can change anything? What would you do?
I just told you. I said I think it should be more rounds or
Mm,
yeah, it should be something different than you would do in a normal fight because it's something more on the line. You have
right.
more on the line than a regular championship fight or whatever have you. It's a unification. This is undisputed. So it's more on the line. So I do believe they should do something different where you got to do a little bit more in order to become the unified champion or the undisputed champion. You shouldn't have to do the same thing you was doing just fighting a one belt champion.
Mm. I like it, Free. I ain't mad at it. I hate draws. Like NFL. Why do we still have the draws in the NFL? I get it. It's a grueling sport. In college, you ain't gonna have no draws. So I get what you're saying. Them draws be whack. Like, especially if it's a unification, then we got a draw. Like, that's whack. You know what I mean? Like that Tank and Lamont situation. Imagine if they say, well, we got to go one more round. They tell them in the corner. That's what I would like to see them do. Tell them in the corner.
Yeah,
Let the judges say the fight's a draw, so we got to fight one more round. Then you get everybody out the ring. You let them rest for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you throw them in there for another 3.
yeah. I mean that's what the UFC used to do when they had their contender series when they first started. They would only
Mm-hmm.
fight for 2 rounds.
Right.
They will only fight for 2 rounds, and then if it was a tie, they will go one more
They had
round.
that third
They
round,
say,
right?
okay, we're gonna have them fight one more round because it's a tie. And so
Right.
but yeah, I have no problem with that. If you say, you know what, we gotta draw. They gotta go one more round. We need to come out with a winner. Especially if it's for it's for a championship bout or if it's for a mandatory position. If you got two guys fighting so like eliminator and you got two guys fighting to become the mandatory, that shouldn't end in a draw because you still don't have a clear winner for who's going to be the mandatory. Now it's up to whoever the sanctioning body decide to call as the mandatory, or the champion decide to fight as the mandatory. So I think it should be something where they will have to fight an extra round or something like that, or an uneven round, where you can get a clear winner.
Yeah, I feel you,
BBO,
free.
BBO, you there?
They left us hanging. They fell down the steps. But I mean,
Yeah,
I agree like that. I like the way that sound. That it should be something different. Pardon me. It like if it's like let's say it's 2 belts on the line, 3 belts on the line, or any unification for that matter. It should be something. It should be some different criteria. It shouldn't be just like a regular 12-round fight because you can do that with two, guy that's ranked 15 and another guy that's ranked 17. Why is it say like
yeah.
that's not a bad that's not bad. I wouldn't be mad at that.
I think for something like that, it should be an uneven round so you can get a clear winner. It won't be a
Mhm.
draw. It will be a
Right.
clear winner because
Clear cut.
you got an uneven round, so only one person gonna have the higher number of rounds than another person. When you have both of these guys fighting 12 rounds, and you can have one guy win 6 rounds and another guy win 6 rounds.
Mm-hmm. It needs to be
So
another round.
yeah,
Brother
I have
88,
no problem with
Brother 88 Sports Talk said, I think they should go back to one belt undisputed, a one belt undisputed champ. 4 belts creates ducking. Facts. When they started
that.
coming out with all them multiple sanctioning bodies, that's when the ducking was already going on before any of us was born. But I'm just saying, but I get where Brother 88 coming from. Like one belt, one face, one champion. Like imagine if it was just like let's just use the WBC because I think the WBC is the coolest looking belt out of all 4 of them personally. So let's just say it was that one belt, and you got one belt per division. So you got like let's just start with 35. So in 35 you got one champion, 40, 47, 54, 60, 68, and so on. Boy, you know how many people would be ducking? I mean, wouldn't be ducking because it wouldn't be a lot of
Yeah.
champions.
Well, they ducking the UFC and only have one belt. So ducking is gonna happen no
Nah,
matter what.
Dana don't let them duck in the UFC. He just don't pay.
No, if they duck in the UFC, they get removed from the sank. I mean
Yeah,
the rankings.
the
They
rankings
go all the
quickly.
way to the bottom, and they got to start all the way back over. It ain't no ducking in the UFC. I mean, I ain't gonna say there ain't no ducking because there
It's
is
very
ducking
little
going
free.
along. It's very little. But
Bro,
if they get
there's
if
no
they duck,
consequences for ducking, man. There should be consequences for that, bro.
Yes,
Like they're
yeah, yeah.
like perfect
yes,
example. Perfect example. When
yes.
Lubin ducking old boy to go fight Virgil.
That's
That's a
not a
duck.
duck though. That's not a duck.
That's
That's
a
a duck.
duck, dog.
It's
That's
not
a
a
You
duck,
duck.
turn
man.
you
That's
turn
not
He's
a
the
down the
number
duck.
one
No,
title shot,
contender.
bro. He should go to the
How?
back of the line.
that's
He's
a
the number one
duck.
contender, man.
He turned down the
No,
title
It's a.
shot.
We just talked about this the other night. If
no.
Lubin went to fight, is he going to fight Virgil? Virgil is bigger, right? As it is, whether way y'all agree or not, he's bigger than the belt, right? Even though he never had one, he's bigger
No,
than
he's
the
not.
belt, bro.
No,
I
he's
think
not.
he is. I
No,
think
he's
he is.
not.
Bro,
Ryan Garcia is
No.
bigger than the belts.
that's
No,
cool, but
listen. I'm gonna tell you
But you're
why
not
it's a
wrong
duck.
though, Hot Rod. You're not wrong though. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell
Go
you
ahead,
why
Free.
it's a duck. It's a duck because they ordered that fight. That fight was a mandor. So once they mando that fight, it became a duck move when he moved to fight somebody else. Now, if he was just the number one contender and they never mandated that fight and they was trying to make that fight and it was some hiccups in the negotiation, and then he said, you know what, I'm gonna go fight Virgil. I get more money to fight Virgil. We having too many problems trying to make this fight. That's not a duck move. That's a bigger fight. I mean, that's a fight for more money. That's not a duck move. A duck move is like what he did. They had that fight ordered. They was about to go to purse bid. And that man said, you know what? I'm just gonna go fight Virgil. So that's a duck move. You got mandated to fight the champion. Your sole goal in the sport of boxing, I keep telling y'all, the belts don't matter to me. It matters to these fighters. Your sole goal fighting in these sanctioning bodies is to move up the rankings to fight the champion. You're at that point where they said, okay, now you're the guy that's fighting the champion next, and you decide to go another direction. That's a duck.
Yeah, I still feel like it was a more lucrative fight for Lubin. I get you're not
No, I
wrong,
mean that's the reason why he ducked, because it was more money over there, but it still was a duck.
and a
It
better
just
opportunity. It's better if he beat Virgil versus going to beat how you say his name, Free
Bakram.
Bakram.
but
Yeah.
my whole thing is what
We'll give him credit. Me, you, Hot Rod, BVO, TD. We'll give him credit for that. But it's I won't call the reason I don't call it a
I
duck
don't
because he's fighting Virgil Ortiz, who's an up
no,
and
it's
coming
a duck.
star.
No, I don't care if the man was fighting Floyd Mayweather. It's a duck.
That's crazy.
If
Free
you're a
tough,
caller,
free.
if
Free
no,
tough, man.
if you are mandated to fight a champion, if you're mandated to fight a champion, and that's your goal as a fighter, you want to become a champion. That's these fighters' goal. Every fighter say, I want to be a champion in the sport of boxing. That's your goal. If you're mandated to fight a champion and you decide to go another way because there's more money over here, it's a duck move. Now it's a reason why you duck,
That's fair.
but it's
That's
a
fair.
duck move. But my thing is, being though that he was mandated to fight Bakram, what they need to do is take that interim belt from him
That's what
because
I'm.
he moved. He ducked. They
Yeah.
need to take it from him.
That's what
It's
I'm
Well,
hard for
saying.
me to call it a duck
I'll
D
say
free,
this
but
though.
I understand
I'll
where you're
say
coming
this though
from, though,
real
brother.
quick.
I totally get it.
I'll say this. Don't forget to get your BBO Sports TV memberships for $2.99. You
Yeah.
can support the channel, get your information faster. I've been working on a few things this week, trying to get some stuff in order, so I can do more and drop more. But if you guys want to support the channel, there's no better way to do that than the $2.99, which is about a cup of coffee for most of us, man. As my man Martin say, everybody got money for a egg McMuffin. Egg McMuffin $2.99, man. Support your boy BBO Boxing. You know, that's all I say.
That's it. Straight like
Yeah,
that.
but I think they need to strip him of that interim title, and he
Mhm.
moves to the bottom of the
No,
list,
Free. He
because
fought for
once
that position. No,
no, it doesn't matter. He got the position of what you're accomplishing. You're accomplishing of becoming
Free.
the
He
number
took some
one
tough
spot.
fights to get that fight, to get that
No,
position, bro.
it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
Free
The
brutal,
sole
boy.
goal, the sole mission is to fight the champion. You get the interim title to be called the next fighter for the champion. You got that fight, and you said no. It's more money over
But you
here.
got to
Well, you
remember,
don't need
Richard
that
Hitchens
title
did the
then.
same thing. Hitchens did the same thing
You
when
don't.
Matias was
I'm
champion.
not saying.
So it's monkey see, monkey
Listen,
do.
I don't care. I don't care if everybody did the same thing. It doesn't mean that it's right. It
Man,
means all of them was wrong. All of them were wrong. They
OG
did it.
cooking tonight. Cook, OG.
It should be
Cook.
a consequence for it.
Shout out to
It should
Free.
be it should what's supposed to happen, because what I'm gonna tell you why it should happen that way, because if Bakram was to say no, I'm not fighting him, Bakram would be stripped of his title.
Yeah.
So the same thing has to happen to the interim title. You have to be stripped if you walk away from that fight. You
And
have
that's
to be
why we
stripped.
got like the
But you
NBA
know,
and the
when they
NFL
say
free. You
that
can't duck in
when
them
they say the
playoffs.
IBF title, they might as well say inconveniencing black fighters,
No, that's
because they
crazy.
always stripping black fighters of their belt anyway.
I gotta look that up. But nevertheless, D free, you're right. Cause like in football, like if this was a college playoff,
Free, he fought for the position. You're
if
wrong.
this was a college playoff football, they Texas can't duck Alabama. In other words, you know what I'm saying? You can't. You can duck in you can't duck in no other sport except for boxing, bro. And
You can duck in football, man. Stop
you can't
playing.
duck in football, bro.
Man, you ain't finna lie, man. Heck no.
You can't
No,
duck in football.
ain't no ducking in football.
You
Your
can't duck in
team
no
get a
football.
schedule.
It's how the
Your
schedule
team
play
get
out. It's how the
But you
schedule
can't
play
duck
out.
though, BVO.
Well, maybe
If it's the
not duck, but
playoffs
I'm just
and
saying
you gotta play Cleveland, then we gotta play Cleveland. There's no way around it.
What
You
I'm
can't
saying is,
duck the pre-
sometimes they give teams easy schedules going into the years. What I'm talking
no,
about.
they get
that's not ducking.
easy schedules. No, they get easy schedules because they was the worst team in the division. That's why they get easy schedules. When you're the worst team in the division, you get the easiest schedule. When you're the best team in the division, you get the hardest schedule.
The Eagles just won the doggone Super Bowl, got the 5th easiest schedule in the NFL.
I don't think that
No,
we
they
do.
don't. No, they
Oh,
do not.
Look
No,
it
they
up.
do not.
Man, you
Look it up.
trolling.
Dog, you can, dog. I'm gonna tell you, everybody that they're playing on their schedule has either went to the playoff or was in contention of going to the playoff. They do not have the the fifth easiest schedule. No, they don't.
Look it
we
The
up.
got to
East and the
play
Everybody,
Lions got
Dallas
the
dog.
2
easiest, got
times.
the hardest
We got
schedule.
to
He went to the
play. We
Lions.
got to play the Commanders 2 times. It's some game like the NFC East is. It ain't the NFC least no more. It's the NFC East. It's back to the
No,
East now.
they got probably
Let's
about
pull their schedule up.
three games on there. You say, okay, that's a easy win for the Eagles. The rest of those games, no, they can lose those games.
Remember,
They
I
don't
got them
have the
going like
easiest
9 and
schedule.
8. I got them going like 9 and 8.
You tripping, man?
Yeah, I got them. I got them going. I think I got them going either 11-6 or 10-6. 10 I think no 11-6. I got them going 11-6.
Y'all,
No,
you
they
got
don't. They don't have.
you got yourself. You got y'all winning the division.
Yeah, everybody had us winning the division. It ain't just me. Everybody had
Yeah,
us
but
winning the
not without
division.
Scary Terry.
Terry, he gonna play.
Man, he gonna play,
Terry
man.
is
He gonna,
playing. What are you talking about? Why you keep saying what not
He
without
don't want
Scary
him to
Terry?
play.
He's
That's what
playing.
it is.
he's scared to
You
death.
don't want him to play, but he's playing. He ain't going nowhere.
So we
I
got
mean,
Whether it's
I
Cowboys.
think they
action.
should trade
We
Terry
got
to
hey, look,
Cleveland,
BBO.
man.
We got Cowboys. We got Chiefs. In week 2, we got the Rams, Buccaneers, Broncos, Giants, Vikings, Giants,
And they losing
bye,
a couple of them games.
Y'all
Packer,
got 2 games
Lions,
versus
Cowboys,
Giants.
Bears, Chargers,
No,
Bears
Raiders,
easy.
that's in
Commanders,
their division.
Bills,
They can't help
Commanders.
that.
That's
No,
tough to me.
I already know. I already know. Prize. I broke down the schedule
Yeah,
throughout the season. We went
so
through the
you
schedule
did.
throughout the season.
You did.
No, like I said, they only got 3 games that you could say is a easy win for them, and unfortunately, they can't choose the fact that they can't help the fact that the Giants is in their division. They can't help that. You always going to have a bad team in your division,
Yeah.
but that's part of your division. It's always going to be a bad team in the division. You going to be the daggone the AFC North. You got daggone Cleveland. You're gonna have a bad team in the division.
We got a
Yeah.
bad team, man.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is
But
what
nah,
it is.
I mean, like I said, everybody that the Eagles playing on their schedule this year, either they was in the playoffs or they was in contention of making the
They got a
playoffs.
lot of 50-50 games for like Detroit. You know, like
I know.
we're going to split with Washington and Dallas. That's just the way it is. So I don't think we're going to sweep y'all or Dallas. And I feel like we'll win
Y'all
11 or
gonna lose?
12
Y'all think
games.
y'all gonna lose to Washington?
Hell yeah, Washington is a good team. They was in the NFC. They was one game away from the Super Bowl, bro. You tripping? There's one game away from the Super Bowl.
Well, we're gonna see. We're
Like I
gonna see
said,
what happens.
I
Jalen, what's his
wouldn't be
name? Jalen
surprised if they won the
Milrows.
East. Free. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all won. As long as we make it,
no,
I'm cool with that.
you saw what Jaden Daniels did the first game that he played this whole preseason. The man did 4 plays, scored a touchdown, went
Yep.
75 yards and scored a touchdown.
And they was
4
holding
plays,
their breath.
4 plays,
My brother
75
called
yards,
me on
touchdown.
man.
Hold on.
A
Read
minute
it.
and
Read this.
51 seconds.
Hold on, real quick. Free. Read that
Go
super
ahead.
chat.
Is it super sticker?
Whatever. Read it.
Thomas dropped the super sticker.
Salute
It
to
came with
Tom.
it. It just say super sticker.
Oh, I can't see it. I gotta pull up my other.
Yeah, it just say super
But
sticker. It don't say anything.
that's just showing some support. Salute to my brother TD Sports, always showing support, man. You know, TD Sports took your
Yeah,
boy
but
BBO to a restaurant that had mice. It was crazy. He had a beautiful meal, and then next thing
hey,
you know, we see the mice get neck grub on.
dog,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. There's not a single restaurant you can go to in this world where they don't have rats in the alley.
That's not true.
They,
Well,
you
I
name
don't know. You
one
said in the
restaurant.
alley. Hold on. You said the alley. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
argue that.
in the alley. There's
I ain't
not
gonna
a
argue.
single
I ain't gonna argue that.
restaurant you can go to in the United States that they don't have rats in the alley. And sometimes those rats find their way into the daggone store. They do come out to take the trash out. A rat sneak right up in there. It just happens. It
Free.
happens.
Free crazy.
It happens. No, I done been to a
I ain't
lot
mad
of
at you.
fancy restaurants in DC.
Yes.
I've been to a lot of fancy restaurants in DC, and you go right there down the alley, You see nothing but rats all throughout that
Same
alley
thing
because
in
that's where the
Philadelphia,
trash is.
free 5-star
Yeah,
restaurants. You go in that
I've been,
mother, it's nasty in there.
yeah, I've been in a couple of fancy restaurants in Philly as well.
Yeah.
I've been in a couple of fancy restaurants in New York.
You know, it's just
Uh,
what it is in major cities. There's nothing you can do. It's so many people, so much stuff. You know, it's nothing you can do. It's a major city like
No,
DC,
what it is
Philly.
because it's the city and the city. What happens is when you building in the city, they gotta go all the way down to the sewage to
Mm.
set the foundation.
I
Where the
already
rats
know,
live at, they live in the sewer. The rats live in the sewage. So when you
bro. When we
go
got to
down
drill,
and
when we
disturb
got to
them,
drill
they
like
gotta find somewhere to go.
when we drill like 18, 20 foot in the ground, you find all kind of stuff down there, free.
Yeah, they gotta find somewhere to go. It's the same way when you building these houses in the middle of the wilderness. Well,
Hmm.
normally you got bears and mountain lions that live out there, and you
Damn, where
wonder
you
why you
at? Where
got
you building
bears
that,
around
free?
your. No, I say in the middle of the wilderness. When you in the middle of the wilderness and you building up houses, when these people build up these houses in the middle of the wilderness, and they start these new developments out there and they cut down all these trees. Well, these animals got to find somewhere to go. They normally be around that area. So if you see a bear run past your front yard, well, that's normally where he normally roams at. You just put your house there now.
Yeah, we got you,
They
TD.
have
Shout out to TD Sports and the $5 super chat, bro. Appreciate you, bro. That's how we supposed to do. Look out for one another.
no, but
Appreciate you.
back to boxing though.
Yeah, boy, baby.
Yeah, I just don't understand why. I don't understand these new generation mentality. Like they took on the motto of work less. I mean, don't work hard, work smarter.
Hmm.
And granted, that
Yo, can y'all
works
hear me?
to a certain
Yeah,
extent.
go ahead. Yeah, you got
Yeah,
it.
we get you now.
Go ahead, free. They work harder, not smarter.
No,
Smarter, not harder.
yeah, that it works to a certain extent, but at some point you got to give the fans what they paid for. They
Hmm.
paid to see two top guys fighting, or they pay to see two good guys fighting.
Right.
You can't keep putting a good guy versus a mediocre or a
A
bad guy.
jobber.
At some
A
point, you got to
jobber.
put them in it. Yeah, sometimes at some point you got to put them in there with another good guy if you want to get the fans still backing up everything that you do. At some point, you got to give them what they're looking for. You can't. It's just like putting out these movies. You can't keep putting out low budget movie. At some point, you got to put out a blockbuster. You can't keep putting out low budget movies. Low budget is going to give you what you paid for. You're going to get low end income. When you put out low budget movies, you're going to get low end income.
Yeah, you gonna get
So if you want to get the higher
Zeus.
income, you got to get blockbuster.
Shout out to
So I mean,
BVO, man, and
I,
make sure y'all go. Make sure y'all go. Sign up for the membership. It's $2.99. It's not that much. It's a cup of coffee. Don't forget, man. Anything supports the channel. If you donate, if you super chat $1, we it's very appreciative over here. But go ahead, free.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you
Hold on,
gotta
somebody mic out of pocket.
put out. I don't
That
know
ain't
who
you,
might.
free. I don't know who that
It might
is.
be. It might be BBO still
He's
working.
on mute though.
But you got something playing in the background?
Not me. I'm in my kitchen
Oh, you
chilling.
talking about BBO? No, I
Something
think
is.
BBO is on mute.
I'll mute
Uh,
myself.
but you gotta put out good product if you want to get good results. You can't put out bad product and expect to get good results. But
Yeah, that's a
I
fact.
don't know what's going on with these ducking and things like that. I don't know what's going like. I don't know what's going on in Tio's mental. I don't know what's going on in his mental because
He
this man's
tripping.
out. He crying that he never made more than $1 million for a fight. Where you got offered 11 for this fight, you got offered 15 for this fight, and you still not
15
taking it.
million he turned down. Right.
You still not taking it. So
You
they
know
like,
what,
man,
free? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, free. I'm glad he didn't take it because I don't want him to ever make $1 million. Yeah, I know. Say, and you're like, damn, Prize, that's kind of hating. Well, it is what it is. I don't like him. He racist. He's done so many things that disrespect my people. I hope he never gets a payday. If he
hey,
retire and he break he I don't know, something happened to him, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, well, good riddance. I know that
I mean,
sounds bad, but.
I don't care what these guys make because I ain't the one that's paying them. I ain't the one that's paying them. So whatever they make is what they make.
I feel you, but
But
like Devin and Shakur and Tank and who else? Like Bud, Earl, my brothers. I want them to be rich as possible. But them other hating niggas, I don't want them to have nothing. I don't want them to get a payday.
I mean, I mean, unfortunately, you ain't got no say so in it.
I know.
The only thing you can do is just not purchase the fight. I mean, that's the only thing that you can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna start
You
fire
can't.
sticking these niggas. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking when I say that.
But I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are claiming they want big purse, and then when you get offered the big purse and you don't take it, it's kind of like, do you really want the big purse or are you just out here talking? Because that's what it seems like all To is doing. It's just he's just doing a bunch of talking. He
He got
claimed that he
smacked up. Did he
want
free? Did
money.
somebody smack him? Who smacked him?
Uh, Matias smacked him.
Smacked him up.
Yeah, but I mean, he claimed that he want these big fights, but when they offer to you,
He
you
run
turning them
away.
down.
He said,
Yeah,
"Oh, I don't know if I can beat them
that
in because of
that
Muslims. I don't
that's
know
why
if
I
I can
said.
beat them." Yeah, he's just a corny dude.
That's why
For
when people were talking about, oh, Jerron Booth Ennis should have took the fight. Why was Jerron Booth Ennis going to waste his time when he was just going to say,
right,
"No, I don't want it. I don't want it."
exactly.
He
Well, it's,
he
he has no.
he turned down the Devin Haney fight for 11 million, and then he turned down the Shakur Stevenson fight for 15 million. You really thought he was going to fight Jerron Booth Ennis? Who
Yeah,
really thought he was going to fight Jerron Booth Ennis?
and Jerron ain't gonna do that because Jerron has nothing to gain. He whooped To. They gonna say, "Oh, well, he moved up from 130." They not. It's not gonna.
No,
He has nothing to gain.
I don't. I mean, I'm not saying that Jerron had anything to gain. I'm just saying if Jerron was to say, okay, yeah, let's make the fight. You really thought To was going to get in there and fight Jerron? No, he was just using it for clout. The same way he was using Bud for clout. Same way he was using Tank for clout. He was using all these guys for clout. He really don't want to fight these guys. He want to continue doing what he's been doing, fight mediocre fights, and then if he sees somebody that look vulnerable, then he'll get in
He'll
there and
fight the
whoop on.
fight. Yeah, I want to see him fight Subriel because I feel like he owes Subriel to put hands on him. So I feel like he need to deal with that. And ain't that a unification? So why not? But To man, I don't know what it is. Free man, the brother just wants to be racist and fight nobody. He literally people calling Tank the Duck of the Year, man. I don't know. It might be To, bro. It
I
might
mean,
be, bro.
it's definitely for Duck of the Year. It's definitely To. Tank Davis wasn't offered $15 million to fight a rematch with Lamont Roach.
Right. Because I think if it
To
was something like that, free, I think he would have did. I don't think he would do the Jake Paul route. If it was something decent, I think that he would have did it. You know, but he
I
doing.
don't
He's.
I don't
Go
know if he
ahead.
would have did it. I don't know if he would have did it or not.
I knew he was going
But
to say
what
that.
I don't because I can't say what these guys are going to do. We don't know it until they do it. But what I'm saying is we don't know how much was offered to Tank Davis. We know that To was offered 15 million to fight a guy that he claimed he want to fight. He was
Well,
offered
brother Nick says
11 million to fight a guy that he claimed he want to fight. Do y'all realize in 1 year, To ducked $26 million in 2 fights?
that's crazy. Well, brother Nick says Tank a way bigger duck than To. To didn't fight Haney because he was lowball. Like, I don't know what's a lowball, but because he for a guy that never made $1 million in the fight, but I'll let
He
D Free deal with
he
that.
didn't fight Haney. He didn't fight Haney because he was lowball. He was offered $11 million. What are you talking about?
I
And
don't know.
that came from To's mouth. That didn't
That
come from
sound
something that I
sound
looked
like
up.
good money to me,
Said
Free.
Tio said it his own self. They offered me $11 million. That's not no lowball. That's not a lowball. When you the one said you never made more than $1 million in any fight. That's not a lowball. Lowball is you
Yeah.
getting paid less than $1 million.
Right. Because
That's a
anything
lowball.
more than $1 million can't be a low ball when you never made $1 million. You said you never made $1 million in a fight. So if somebody offer you $11 million and somebody that I think that he can beat, because I do think that's a 50-50 fight, I would pull for Devin Haney. I would bet on Devin Haney, a friendly $40-$50 bet. Y'all know me. So, but I'm just saying, T.O. definitely can win that fight for sure. That's a
No,
50-50. All them 40 pounders is
the man, the
50-50
man, the man ducked $11 million,
at the
and then he
time.
turned around.
Yeah.
He turned around and ducked 15 million
I
because
don't
we
know
got
what
this
more
guy
low
saying
ball. Yeah, that's
we got
crazy,
this guy
brother
saying he
Nick.
was low ball.
Hey, they
Brother
all
Nick.
ducking.
Hey, brother
I
Nick,
just
you can
noticed.
type in the chat and explain yourself if you can, because we don't feel like, and that's no disrespect. You can have your opinion. I don't know where you got your source from, but like $11 million when you never made a million is pretty decent money, brother Nick. Respectfully,
Hey, they all ducking. T.O. ducking. Africa ducking. They all ducking. I just now
see
noticed
Yeah,
that.
I mean, yeah, they all duck in a
what
certain
Africa
way.
does. What he
And now
does.
Matias and Gary Russell.
He does Matias.
Mm-hmm. He's
Africa is
supposed
tailor
to
made.
fight.
He
He
tailor
said he
made for
fight when he had the
Africa.
IBF.
who ducked for Matias?
Africa. He was supposed to fight him when he had the IBF.
Mm.
Who?
Matias in Africa.
Oh, Africa. Yeah, Africa said he didn't want the rehydration clause, but
Was the
then he went and
IBF?
fought. Yeah, for the IBF, but then he went and fought daggone Piro for the IBF.
He fought Paro, who beat Matias.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
make this stuff up.
Pyro. Yeah, I said Piro.
Liam
He fought
Pyro.
Pyro
Liam
for the
Pyro.
IBF.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, he fought Pyro for the IBF, but he didn't want to fight Matias for the IBF. And Matias said, "Well, now you can't say anything about the rehydration because it's a unification fight. Let's
Mm,
make it."
And he
mm.
still won't fight him.
He ain't want to fight. Yeah, I mean, we're today's boxing. We're in the age of the ducks. You know, we're in the pond. All of us, me, Free, Hot Rod. We're all in the pond. You know, and there's just a bunch of ducks just floating around the water.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing we can do,
hold
bro.
up, hold up. Nick said I first seen him on Pro Box. He's good. We're not saying he's bad.
Nah,
We
he ain't
saying that
bad.
he's a duck.
Yeah, that's
We
all.
saying he's a duck. We ain't saying he's bad. We saying
He can
I
fight.
don't know who I don't know who you talking about. You might be talking about Lamont Roach
I think he talk.
because
No, I think he talk.
Tio
Tio
never
wasn't.
fought on Pro Box. He never fought on Pro Box.
I thought he
You might
did.
be talking about him. You might be fighting. You might be talking about Lamont Roach. And
He
I'm
was at
not
the top
saying
rank
Lamont
though.
Roach is bad neither.
He
Lamont
not.
Roach. I was one of the ones that said Lamont Roach was a good fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Lamont Roach was bad. I told everybody this fight is going to be a lot closer than what
Yeah,
everybody
you
think it is.
definitely did.
But
That's on recording.
I still had Tank knocking Lamont Roach out, but I said it was going to be a much closer fight. But I
Yeah.
had Tank ultimately knocking
You
him out.
picked Tank to
Tank
knock him
wasn't
out,
able to
but
knock
you
him
said
out.
it was going to be closer than we think. And I told him that the fight, I told you, I said that fight ain't going to be close. Tank's going to destroy this kid. And I was wrong again. I'm terrible at picking fights.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I knew it was gonna because they know each other. They fought in the amateurs, and every time they fought, it was always a close fight. It was never one sided. It was always a close fight. That's why I knew it was gonna be a close fight. I said, "No, this is gonna be a much closer fight than most people think." I still had Tank knocking him out, but it was gonna be like I had him knocking him out like the ninth round or something like that. But
And
I was
you
like, it's gonna be a close fight.
know it's crazy. The two faces of boxing duck they rematch. Canelo duck Bivol. Tank duck my Tank duck Roach.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is absolutely true. Both of the faces of boxing duck their rematch. That is absolutely true. I mean, like I said, Canelo has always been known as a duck in my book. That man has
Hey, Hot
always been
Rod, I
known
know
as
you younger than me and D Free, and me and D Free got to see some fights. I'm D Free's not that much older than you, like 2 or 3 years older than me, right? But so we seen like the same fights, but we didn't get to, we saw ducking, but it wasn't like what you get to see. You feel me? Like it's a whole nother level. You know what I mean? And the ducking today, and that's why D Free don't care about none of these fighters. But I guaranteed you, if you go back to the 80s and 90s, I guaranteed you he cared for somebody in the at least one person. He definitely did.
no, I don't know. I mean, back like I said, the 80s and 90s, that's when those were my last two favorite fighters. It was Sugar Ray Leonard and Roy Jones. After that, I had no more favorite fighters. It
Mine
was
was
Sugar Ray
Roy
Leonard and
and
Roy
Floyd.
Jones.
Mine was Roy and Floyd. They was the two, and I still like my Spanish boys. I like Tito. I liked Juan Manuel Marquez when he was young. Um,
I mean, I liked
But
a lot of guys in the sport of boxing, but those were my two favorite.
my
Right?
favorites was Roy and Floyd when Mike
I
went
like
out.
Mike Tyson.
Me,
Yeah,
yeah,
Mike Tyson. I like Mike Tyson, but he was never my favorite fighter. I just like to see him fight because he was
he was
going to
my
knock
favorite
somebody
fighter.
out.
See, I was younger than
Yeah,
that's where our age gap come in. Because when I was young, Mike Tyson was a god to me. You know what I mean? To me, you know what I mean? Because now I'm 5 and 6. You know what I'm saying? When Mike was doing his ish, you know what I'm saying? But I ended up having a bunch of favorite fighters.
see,
I loved
see,
Hector
the reason
Camacho.
why
I
Sugar,
loved Nassim Hamed. I liked Floyd. I like Roy. I like Tony. I love Tony. I love
see,
Riddick Bowe. Love
I
Riddick
have
Bowe.
I have a specific reason why Roy and Sugar Ray Leonard was my two favorite fighters. Sugar Ray Leonard was my favorite fighter because he was from my same neighborhood. He went to school with my mother and father. So I
Mm.
knew Sugar Ray Leonard personally. I knew
When he was
him
a young
personally.
boy.
Roy, yeah, Roy Jones was my favorite fighter because me and him have the same birth date. That's
Ah,
why he was my favorite fighter. Once I knew Roy was born January 16th, I was like, bet
you
that's
knew
my
that nigga
favorite
was
fighter.
funny.
And he could fight. I was like, oh yeah, this is my favorite fighter right here.
hmm
The same
Roy,
way
we
that the same way Mike Tyson is Doug Right Side favorite fighter because they got the same birthday. They got the same birthday.
uh
That's why that's
uh
Doug Right Side favorite fighter.
they just my favorite fighters because they could fight, man. I love when I remember being little, couldn't wait. My grandfather would hype it up all day. Mike Tyson fighting, you know, I might go to sleep on it, but he recorded it on a VHS free. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey,
And I see the
I'm gonna
fight
be
next
honest with
morning.
you. I think the last fight party I have ever went to was probably like 2005. They don't do fight parties like that no more.
My last fight party, D free, because I used to host them all every time, was Roy, not Roy, I'm sorry, Ricky Hatton and Mayweather, or Mayweather and Ricky Hatton. That was the last fight that I said that was the last fight party I had. Let's just keep it like that.
Yeah, I mean they did a fight party for the Floyd versus Manny, but people left out of that fight
I ain't
party
do one. I
upset
sat by
because
myself. I wanted to be by
that
myself, home alone for that fight. I didn't want a bunch of people.
they left out of that fight party upset because it was a one-sided fight. Um, the I believe the Earl and
Me
Bud
too, brother
fight.
Nick.
They had some fight parties, but that was a one-sided fight as well.
I
But
love
I
Mayweather
mean
too, brother Nick.
they don't really do fight parties like that. I don't hear nobody say, hey, we're doing a
Yeah,
fight
man.
party for this
See,
fight. You gonna come through?
they don't know what we
I
talking
don't see that too
about.
much.
Like the young boys, I'm not gonna say hot rock because I don't know him like that, but he probably been to some fight parties, but if he didn't, he's been to other kind of parties, I'm sure. But like a fight party back in the day when Roy was fighting, like when he fought Montel Griffin in the first time, I can remember I was a young boy. I was a teenager, and my mom and dad went out of town, and I had all my friends over, and we watched the Roy and what's his name, Montel Griffin fight one. And
Yeah,
Roy was whooping. No, Montel Griffin was doing some good work in that fight, but Roy ended up, hitting him while he was down. Bro, when they took them belts from Roy, man, we went outside as teenagers and we just terrorized the neighborhood 'cause we was mad that they took it from Roy. They
yeah. And
stole.
Floyd came back. Floyd came back in a rematch and beat that man with one arm. He beat that
Not
man with one
Floyd,
arm.
Roy.
I mean, I said Roy.
You reading the
Roy came
comments,
back in
but
a
yeah,
rematch
brother
and beat him.
Nick, I love Mayweather too. I used to study Mayweather when he was young, and everybody didn't want him to fight Diego Corrales, brother Nick, and Floyd wanted him, and everybody was like, he too big. Corrales was like almost a junior middleweight in there, and Floyd. If you want to know how to set traps, go look at Diego Corrales and Floyd Mayweather. Floyd kept stabbing Chico to the body to bring that tall, because Chico's like 5'10". Wasn't he like he was big? Wasn't he free 5'9",
Like
5'10"?
five. I think we like 5'10",
Man,
5'11".
yeah, yeah, right. I ain't want to go that far, but yeah. And Floyd kept stabbing him to the body, and that's what set up for them right hands and them sharp left check hooks. If you want to learn how to set a trap, that's how you be the bigger guy. Go look at Floyd
Yeah,
Mayweather
cause
versus Diego Corrales. Go look at that. If you small fighters and y'all might be short, go look at that fight, and you can break down a tall, linky, big fighter like Fondora.
The only reason I remember that Diego Corrales was like 5'10", 5'11", because Floyd is 5'8", and Diego
Mm-hmm.
Corrales towered over Floyd.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. And I love
He
Chico.
towered over
Didn't you?
Floyd.
Didn't you? You ain't rock with Chico free?
Yeah, I rock with you. Like I said,
Yeah.
I like a lot of fighters. I just only had two favorites.
Now I'm
I
saying, but
only
but
had
when
two
they
favorite
fought, that
fighters.
was like you was like, damn, this is a good one. It's 50-50 right here. You know,
Nah, I
everybody
thought I
thought
thought
Chico
Floyd
was
was
gonna
gonna beat him
destroy
anyway.
Floyd. Floyd set him up
Nah,
like he was running from the
nah.
cops, man. I'm
I
telling
was
you.
I was I was one of my few friends that thought Floyd was gonna win that fight. I didn't
Me
think Chico
too.
was gonna beat
I
him.
was the
I thought
only one.
I thought
Everybody else
Chico
like Chico. Is there
Chico
any way
Chico
for
was
D3 real quick,
he,
not to cut you off? Is there any way we can or BVO or is there any way we can get Dub right side up here? He's been waiting backstage, bro.
yeah, yeah, BVO. That's the
Bring
only
up
way.
bring up Varnell Hill on the track. Bring him on the track. But yeah, free man. I used to love it, man. And Floyd, man, I used to love Floyd, man. Remember when everybody used to talk so bad and be racist and the people, because the fans, the fans we had to deal with that Floyd was fighting, bro. Floyd went there and made all them niggas
I
look
I remember
ordinary.
me and my I remember me and one of my close friends got into a heated argument because he thought that Manny Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd. He like,
That's
oh,
crazy.
Floyd ducking Manny Pacquiao. I'm like, he ain't ducking him. He
Stop.
told the man take a drug test. That's not
Right.
a duck. He told the man take a drug test.
And
The
$40
man won't
million.
take a drug
dollars.
test.
$40 million in the drug test back
Yeah,
then. He didn't want to do that. So what,
I was
why
like,
is you
that man,
hiding,
that man
man?
told him to take a drug. Yeah, so I was like, no, we got into a heated argument. I mean, it never got nowhere like that. It was just we were just going back and forth.
Nah, it's just
But
brothers just arguing.
I still remember that argument. And then after Floyd fought him, and I was like, "You still believe the same thing?" He like, "Oh man, Floyd waited till he got old." I said, "Floyd is older. What are you
Man, he's
talking about?"
older. That was my argument back in the
Like,
day. That's you know what, free. That's
I
what
was like,
made me
"Floyd is
pretty
2 years
much.
older."
That's what made me start chatting in the chats. Cause like I used to sit back and just watch, certain channels, and sit back and be like, damn, and then until I had to change I had to learn how YouTube works or whatever. And then when I started commenting, that's what made me start commenting, like the Mayweather stuff. I'm like, how's he trying to wait Pacquiao out and he's older? Now, if that don't make no sense, if you can, bro, come on, be serious. Floyd's older. So I was like, how's he trying to wait? That used to be my argument. That started to make me know what I gotta type this ish. You know what I mean? That's when I started typing. You know what I mean? They was dogging Floyd. Man, Floyd was fighting everybody that they said that he couldn't beat. They might can go back and argue a couple of people that was way bigger than Floyd at the time. They'll bring up like this. This is what they'll do. They'll bring up Winky Wright, right? Big junior middleweight. You know what I mean? They'll bring up another one. What's the other one? Punisher, Paul Williams, a big welterweight. But at the time, I still don't think neither one of them could have beat Floyd. I don't know. Winky was tough though. Winky was defensively sounded like he was, and he was linky and tall with that left jab. But I don't know. That might have been a little complicated for Floyd. I don't know.
I don't think Floyd would have won that fight. That's the
Not at
reason
that
why he never
time.
fought Winky.
Not at that time. Winky was too bit damn big, bro. Winky was with that blocking. He would hold that high guard, and he would, man. Winky, they was cheat. This is a cheat Winky, man. Winky, I like Winky. We need to get Winky on the show, man. Winky, you need to pull up. Come home with your brothers.
Yeah, I try to get Winky on the show. I was trying to hit up Socrates to see if he can get in touch with Winky, but
With Winky,
Thomas
yeah.
said yeah,
Well,
because Socrates used to know a guy that was close to Winky. Um, but I'm still trying to get that
yeah.
interview with Winky,
Man, I hope you do,
because
man.
Winky's originally from DC.
Yes. And
He's
Winky can
originally from
box.
DC.
Winky box and fight like he from DC with that. I used to love Winky, and people was like, man, he corny, he dressed corny. I'm like, you worry about what he dressed and what he looked like. I'm like, he gonna come out here and box Vargas head off. And no, Vargas beat him. Didn't he drop Winky in that one? Or was that they robbed Winky? Or robbed Vargas. It was one fight, but when he fought Shane, and I love Shane, I told everybody, I said, man, Shane too damn little. I said, Shane is good. He should have fought Floyd at that time. But he went out there jumping at junior middleweight trying to unify, which was cool. I understand it. It was a historical fight at the time. for 54. If you go back and look at the Winky Wright Shane Mosley fight one, but I love Shane at that time. I told all the brothers at work, I said he's too little, and everybody's like, man, this dude ain't fought nobody. He got losses. Da, da, da. I'm like, man, watch. And I cleaned up at work I cleaned up at work on that Monday morning. I bet against my own guy. And I went against Shane Mosley, and I took Winky. And Winky, I told everybody he was too big, you know. And then they fought again, and Shane like Vernon. Vernon was too big. I said that's a big welterweight. People was like, it's Mosley. I'm like, I love Mosley. He was like my Floyd before Floyd, you know. So, but I told everybody he was too. I said Vernon with that jab, man, and then Vernon dropped him. Shane never been down. Vernon dropped him, bro. I told everybody about that one, Freezy. That Shane and Vernon. I told everybody. Vernon was crazy.
Dub, hit BVO up behind it. Hit
Yeah,
BVO up
I'm
from
about
behind
to
and tell
do
him
it.
to
I'm about
drop.
to do it. I'm about to do it. So we're gonna bring the right side. Hold on. Where BVO? There he is. But that was some good fights, man. I feel bad for like brothers like Hot Rod. Probably didn't. I don't know if you did see that. That Shane and Vernon, that first fight when Mosley was undefeated, and George Foreman's like, I don't want to call them pound for pound anything. Go back and listen to the HBO replay of that fight. And as soon as Foreman said that, boy, Vernon clipped him, bro. Shane hit his gloves. He didn't know what to do because he never been hurt like that. And he backed up into the corner, and Vernon Forrest had one of the best knockdowns, especially when I was that age. I stood up as because I was a Shane fan. And I was going for Shane, but I knew he couldn't beat Vernon. Vernon was too big. Then Vernon come out there and beat Shane twice, and then he'll come out there and lose to Mayorga. You know what I mean? 2 times. The second fight, Mayorga went 12. That's crazy. I was like, man, how can he go 12 with him, and Shane is way better than Mayorga? And that was just the way the welterweight division was back then, man. Good welterweight fights.
Yeah, yeah, sometimes certain fighters just might just have your number.
Yep.
It just be like that. You got one guy that for whatever reason you can't seem to beat that guy, and that guy
Free, I think your
for
mic
some
is
strange
breaking up,
reason
bro.
can't seem to beat another guy.
Free, your mic is feeding back real bad, bro. Take it off your car speaker. That don't work. And just put it on your regular phone. But yeah, man, we had them good. Me and Free and them and BVO, we had good welterweight fights. There you go.
Yeah, is that Hill? No, that's BBO.
That's BVO doubling up on a set. Shout out to the General BVO.
Yeah, Dub been trying to get up here, BBO.
Yeah, put brother Doug. He been waiting. I used to like them fights. You remember Pavlik and B Hop? I like that fight, man. Pavlik and B Hop was a good one back in the day. I like that fight. I like Marquez and Pacquiao. Them series was good, man. They rumble.
Yeah,
Floyd
yeah.
Mayweather versus Arturo Gotti is my favorite. It's between Floyd Mayweather and Arturo Gotti or Floyd Mayweather Corrales. Either one, is 1A and 1B. It don't matter. Them two are the best performances that I've ever seen.
Yeah, those are great performances. Um, but my favorite fight, the most competitive fight I have ever seen. It probably I ain't gonna say ever, but it's one of my top favorite fights to go back and watch. Was Big Daddy Bo versus Evander
So,
Holyfield.
okay, competitive fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my
that
favorite.
joint they
hmm
was going back and forth. You
Rumbling.
didn't know who was going to win that fight.
Free, the first fight. Talk about the first fight. Free.
Dog,
What happened in that fight? Tell the people in that first Bo Holyfield. When Bo was a
Well,
challenger, he went in there. Holyfield was Holyfield.
no, it was a. I don't think like Holyfield had never faced anybody of the size of Big Daddy Bo with the hand speed and the power that Big Daddy Bo had.
Mm-hmm.
When he sat Holyfield down,
Mm-hmm.
it was like, oh, nobody seen that coming because we never seen Holyfield get dropped like that.
Not
We
like
were like,
that.
oh, Holyfield down. I think he dropped him twice in that fight, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh-huh.
I think he got dropped twice in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, Holyfield getting the hands put on. But then Holyfield started coming back, doing what
Mm-hmm.
Holyfield do.
With
And
left and
he
rights.
was like, oh, okay, Holyfield about to end this. And they just
Nope.
kept going blow for blow.
For
I
12
was like,
rounds.
oh, this joint is on fire.
The best fight I've ever seen live in my lifetime.
Yeah, that's probably the most competitive fight. I mean, that's one of the top most competitive fights I have ever watched live.
Right. In my lifetime. Live in my lifetime. Riddick Bowe Holyfield won. That whole trilogy was dope. The second fight was like, Riddick was a little out of shape. That third fight was back to business. They was all good. Trust me. You know, if you can sit through Gotti and Ward, you definitely can sit through Bowe and Holyfield. But we were all young and we were, you know, Mike wasn't doing nothing, you know, so we was screaming for Riddick. He from New York, he big, he talk ish, he sound like he from New York. I was living down North Carolina then. He, you know, we like them dudes, you know what I'm saying? Riddick Bowe was talking his ish, you know what I'm saying? And I liked it. We like Riddick Bowe when he punched Larry Donald in the face on a press conference. That now I don't care. I know there's a lot of people that there's a lot of press conferences. But back in them days, when we were young, when me and Free was young, when Riddick Bowe pieced up Larry Donald, man, we went to school the next day. Yo, everybody was screaming, you see Riddick, you see Riddick. Riddick had the whole school going crazy. Now, Mike, we in middle school, and Riddick got the middle schools going crazy. He probably didn't even know it. He probably did, but he probably didn't know he reached that far, you know, across the world. And, you know, you up there, you was closer to Riddick because you was in D.C. I was only visiting in Philly, you know, in the winter, you know, on my breaks or whatever. But for the most part, down North Carolina, man, we was all Riddick. We would, man, I'm telling you, when Riddick pulled up on Lennox Lewis, and Lennox Lewis was like, I'm going to knock you out. Riddick was like, you ain't gonna do nothing, bum. You ain't gonna do nothing, bum. You know what I mean? They should have fought. Free. Damn, we missed that.
Yeah, they didn't fight. They didn't
I feel like
fight
hot rod
because
on that one.
they didn't fight because they was trying to give Riddick Bowe a 50-50 split. And Riddick Bowe was like, man, I'm not taking no 50-50 split with no mandatory. They wanted to give Lennox Lewis $5 million and give Riddick Bowe $5 million. Riddick Bowe was like, nah, I'm not taking no 50-50 split with a mandatory. And so y'all gonna force me to fight this dude, y'all can have this belt. And he threw it in the trash on national TV.
On national TV, Freezy. He threw it in the can and he was serious about it. He ain't paying no sanctioning fee. They don't tell me what to do. I'm the champ. The people know who the champ is. Half the people was mad at him. I was like, I don't care. And then at that time, Free, I didn't give a damn about that belt because I knew Riddick was that guy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, I don't know, man. That would have been a good one, boy. I ain't gonna go. Whoo, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis. That's a good debate. I don't know. BF and them might do that. That would be fire on BF. But man, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis. Man, oh man, oh man. That is a good conversation right there, brother. Cause I like, you know, I hated Lennox because you feel me. He was from over there, and I'm going for the brothers from here. You know what I'm saying? He from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Riddick from New York. So I'm rocking with Riddick. I wasn't thinking. I'm like, man, I don't like that nigga, man. I don't like the way he talk. You know what I'm saying? And then as I got older, as a grown man, starting my career off and stuff, going through my training, going through my career, starting off, I had to put some respect on Lennox Lewis' name. And to this day, he's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
Man, fuck Lennox Lewis.
I know, Dub.
I can't stand Lennox
know,
Lewis.
Dub. I know.
I can't.
And you can't want to track cussing is crazy, but I feel you though. F that ninja, dog.
I'm trying to tell you, Lennox Lewis, that man can box.
Man, God, he is so good.
But at the same time, I'm with you. Man, every time I seen Lennox Lewis in the ring, especially against Black America,
I want him to get smoked.
Man, I'm looking for this nigga to get smoked.
When hey
So
Dub, remember when Rockman knocked that nigga out? Remember how happy you
I was
was,
so
dog?
happy. I was
Oh
so
my
happy.
God. When Rockman knocked him out, bro, I
And,
went through my house running down the neighborhood screaming, oh my God. And Jim Lampley was on it. And we got a new heavyweight champion, and he's from the
and
United States. When
nobody
Jim
didn't even
said that,
they didn't
that
even
shit
get
made me so hyped, dog. Oh my
they didn't
God.
even get
Because
Hakeem Rockman. They didn't even give him a chance against Lennox Lewis.
none.
This was a quote unquote
Baltimore.
cherry pick.
Shout
Quote
out
unquote.
Baltimore.
Man, shout out to Rockman, man.
And
Hey,
that Rockman knocked when Rocky knocked him out. Jim Lampley said, "We got a new heavyweight champion, and he's from the United States." And Rockman was celebrating. I was like, "Damn!" Well, my grandpa was so much, man. He hated my grandfather. Hated Lennox Lewis. I mean, when I mean hate, and I started. Eventually, I was like, "All right, pop, like he's kind of good, you know." And my grandfather hated him. Man, it took me to become a grown, mature man to appreciate Lennox Lewis, one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time. And I would put him up here against any one of them niggas. I know he got knocked out by a couple of people that should have knocked him out, like Rockman and Oliver McCall, especially him. He made him cry. You know what I mean? That nigga straight cry. But come on, bro. He needed them L's. Them Jones humbled him. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Lennox Lewis, that nigga could fight, man. I'm just being
man,
honest. He
Ox,
could fight.
I call him Ox. I call that nigga I call him Ox. That nigga Ox he different, bro. His jab, 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 straight and Manny.
He
Man,
ran
I
it
would
down
put
there.
that
He hold on
combination
real
with
quick. That's the greatest thing about Lennox Lewis. The nigga ran it down the middle on you. He
man,
ran
that
it
right
down
hand was
continuously down the
woo,
middle on you. When he beat
boy.
Evander Holyfield, the first time I believe when they fought, I think it was a draw. I believe
Yeah, he beat him then. They robbed Lennox.
I ain't think that was a robbery. I thought it was
All
a
right,
close fight. I thought
fair
that
enough.
was a closer fight. But
But
the
Lennox should
second
have
fight,
won that.
the second fight wasn't even close to me.
Mm-mm.
I thought it was some. I mean, shit.
And they still wasn't it still weird the scorecards. I might be wrong, but wasn't the scorecards weird on the second ones when Lennox clearly beat him again?
I think
I
I
might be
think one
wrong.
I think one judge had it pretty close. I think the other two judges had it right. I think they had
Yeah,
because
but it was something like really, you know what I mean?
yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Even with Oliver McCall, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought Oliver McCall. I thought, man, the stoppage that he got. You know what I'm
He
saying?
wasn't winning.
I wasn't. Well, what he stopped him in like the third round or something.
Yeah. Well, Lennox
So,
started playing around, dropped his hands, and Oliver McCall is a big heavyweight. He can punch, so you must be crazy. If Oliver McCall would knock out any heavyweight if you let him punch
but
you like that.
I didn't expect it to. I didn't
Me
expect
either.
none of that. I didn't
Me
expect,
either.
and I believe I could be wrong. I believe that was over in the UK at that time, and
I don't know. I'll
I
look that up for you.
yeah, I ain't got no problem. And like I said, I could be wrong about that, but
But
I didn't see none of that happening the way the Oliver McCall fight happened. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. Lennox Lewis, though,
he
hey,
bad, man.
he one of the
He
greatest
bad.
heavyweights of all time, in my
He
opinion.
bad,
I
though.
gotta give him credit.
He
Even though I
bad,
don't like
though.
him. I don't like him, but I
Why? I
gotta give
like
him.
him now. I didn't like him back then, but you can like him now. He's
You
retired.
talking
You can
about
like him now.
you talking about the Oliver McCall rematch
No. The first fight.
No. Well,
or
the
the
first
first
fight.
fight?
I think the first fight
He
was
knocked Lennox out.
no. He
Yeah,
didn't knock him out the first fight.
Yeah,
No,
he
he
did. He
stopped.
cried
He
in the
stopped
second
him.
fight, didn't he?
Is
He
it
stopped
okay?
Lennox Lewis the first fight.
I might
He
be wrong.
cried.
Yeah, he
He
did.
knocked him out in the first fight, and then in the second fight, Lennox beat him so bad the nigga started crying. They want to fight. Lennox was looking at the ref, punching
Yeah,
him like, what you want me to
but
do? You know what I
but
mean? And they stopped the
you
fight.
gotta remember. You gotta remember. See what a lot of people don't talk about. That first fight that Oliver McCall had with Lennox Lewis, Emmanuel Stewart was Oliver McCall's trainer. That
Agreed.
second fight, which was the next fight after the rematch, Emmanuel Stewart was Lennox Lewis' trainer.
That's deep. I
So
ain't peep that, see?
a lot of people don't
I
pay
didn't peep
attention
that.
to that. Yeah. Lennox
I don't
Lewis,
peep that.
I mean, Oliver McCall was being trained by Emmanuel Stewart in the first fight. The immediate rematch,
But
Lennox Lewis had
they didn't
hired
have
Emmanuel
they didn't
Stewart.
have an immediate rematch. I believe Lennox Lewis had like 3 or 4 fights after that.
I'll look that up. I gotta look at Lennox box record. I thought they fought right back because he
No,
knocked Lennox.
No, and once again, I
Salute,
could
Uncle
be
Cash.
incorrect.
I'll look it up. Go ahead, Doug.
I could be incorrect, but I believe they fought in like either 93, I believe it was 90, either 93, 94, something like that. Then they end up fighting in like 98 or 97, somewhat like it wasn't an immediate rematch. It was a space between that rematch. Only way I remember it is because this is me as a young boy, as Prize would say, a young boy. This is me really starting to get into the sport. You know what I'm saying? And I'm almost positive because I think Oliver McCall, after he fought Lennox Lewis, I believe he fought Frank Bruno. Then he fought Larry Holmes as well. I think he beat Frank Bruno. He
Dub,
lost to
you're
Larry Holmes.
1000% right, Dub. Right, so he had a couple damn fights.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was an immediate rematch,
No,
but
it definitely wasn't because he fought Lionel Butner, Fontour, Tommy Gunn Morrison, Ray Mercer, and then
Yeah, but
he fought Oliver
I
McCall.
do. Yeah, I do remember that Emmanuel Stewart was Oliver McCall's trainer, and then he ended up going to work with Lennox Lewis. And
Mm.
I don't know what happened between Emmanuel Stewart and Oliver McCall,
He
but
got
I
bought out
mean,
by the heavyweight champ.
yeah, he probably got bought out. But I mean, they end up not working with each other anymore.
And that was a tailor made. He showed Lennox how to fight tall and, like Dub loved to say, run that ish down the middle.
run
And
that shit down
Manuel
the middle.
Stewart teaches his. That's what he said in his interview. I teach tall fighters. He don't want to work with you that much if you're not a tall fighter for your division. You know what I mean? Manny, that crunk style man. I miss him, man. I like him, man. I used to love man. So he. That's what that man. We need some new trainers like that, man. We don't
Well,
got nothing not like that.
Emmanuel Stewart, Emmanuel Stewart definitely one of the
He definitely
greatest
would
trainers
change,
of all
man.
times of my era. Of my
Yes,
era.
my era and my lifetime.
Of
In my
course,
lifetime.
there was other great trainers from the era before,
Yes.
and I still don't think there's any trainer on the level of Emmanuel Stewart right now. I don't think there's
Getting
no
up.
trainer on the level of
I don't think
Emmanuel
nobody.
Stewart.
If Manny was still alive, like Freddie was, Manny would be cooking right now. You know what I mean? He could teach it easy. You know what I'm saying? He would actually change the fighter's style. And if you listen to him, if you're tall, especially if you're a heavyweight, if you listen to me, we're gonna knock this guy out easy. When they used to go
I
to
don't
the
think.
corner free, think about when the HBO used to go to Manny Stewart in the corner. He would be cooking like a
Yeah,
chemist. Like
I don't think he ever changed anybody's style though.
what
I
I
don't think
did,
he ever.
he taught you how to fight tall. Like Lennox, go look at Lennox and Manny.
No,
Go look at old clips. He teach you how to fight tall. That's why Lennox was getting smashed, man. When he got Manny, he
no.
wasn't getting
What
smashed.
what he did was
Lennox ain't never really get smashed like that though. He ain't really get
I'm
smashed
talking
like that.
about, but he taught Lennox. Lennox, go look at the interviews. You can say Manny Stewart say, "I only
no.
train tall fighters," and you can hear Lennox Lewis tell you that Manny Stewart changed my whole ish around, bro.
No,
Facts.
what he did was he just showed Lennox Lewis how to how to throw his jab better because Lennox Lewis had a good jab. He just made Lennox Lewis jab that much better.
But Lennox
He
was
didn't
doing a
change.
lot. He was doing a little bit of more. He was doing a lot more running, like what they BVO like to call it. But he was doing a lot of more movement. He showed him that crunk style. He showed him that West Coast LA. You know what I'm saying? Crunk gym. That he showed him that, and Lennox mastered it. And Lennox became different. Couldn't nobody beat that brother.
But the good trainers, any good trainer will tell you, and like I love to say, running it down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The best punch you can ever throw is that straight punch, and the
Straight right
reason
hand or
is
straight left hand.
you gonna follow your power shot up, whether you're southpaw, whether you're
Mm-hmm.
orthodox.
If you
You
run it down
follow
the middle,
you gonna run the jab down the middle, and
mm-hmm.
you gonna double it up, and then you gonna run that
Fire
backhand down the
off.
middle. You run that backhand right down the middle, and
Mm-hmm.
when Lennox learned that,
It's
that's when he
over.
really became the Lennox Lewis that we've seen beating the shit out of people.
He
Respectfully,
was just smoking people, bro. I was like, yo, I wish somebody knocked this big British nigga out. He would get up there and be like, I told you, I'm the champion. I can't be beat.
I'm
You
a
know,
champion. I'm a
oh my
champion.
God. I used to get up there and be like,
I
man,
hated listening to Lennox Lewis talk after the
oh
fight.
my God. After when Larry would interview him, it would drive me crazy. I was like, man, what? When we were young, we didn't understand the politics of boxing. Like, maybe Free did, but I didn't because I'm
I
a little
did.
bit younger, just by a couple years. But I didn't understand the politics like that. I understand the rankings and the sanctioning bodies and all that. I was up on that. Who was number one, but I didn't understand why them two couldn't fight. And it was like, so it was arguing. So we would go to school, but everybody would where I was from would say he was ducking Riddick. You know what I'm saying? Lennox was
Who you
pricing
talking about?
himself out. Riddick and Lennox. Lennox
Oh
was
no,
pricing himself out at
yeah,
that time, bro.
no. Riddick wasn't pricing himself out. Riddick
No,
just said
Lennox.
no. No. It wasn't. It wasn't Lennox pricing himself out. It
What
was
was it?
they was no. They I told you they wanted to give him a 50-50 split, and Riddick Bowe was like, nah, I'm not agreeing to a 50-50
That
split.
sounded like pricing yourself out, free.
No, because they was under the promotional company that was putting on the fight was Lennox Lewis promotional company. It was Lennox Lewis promotional company putting on the fight. And
Oh,
Riddick Bowe was like, nah, I'm not agreeing to the 50-50 split
right,
because he's a mandatory. He's not a champion. I'm the
right,
champion. I'm not
right,
agreeing to a 50-50
right.
split.
Okay,
So that's why we all
I,
was young. It was like, yo,
I
he
can't
ducked
disagree.
because
I just don't know. I
he
ain't gonna
sounded
lie.
like he
I don't
priced
know.
himself out to me. He's like, how you getting a
No,
50-50
it's
split
not.
when I'm the champ?
It's not a price out. It's not a price out because
What is
if
it?
your promotion, if your promote, let me explain. If your promotional company is putting on the fight, you're not asking for anything.
Uh,
You're giving him the offer. You're not asking for anything. You're giving him the offer. He's got to accept the offer. It's not a price out.
who got to
A
accept the
price out.
offer, Lennox or Riddick?
No, Riddick Bowe got to accept the offer. They was giving him the offer. He was the
Wasn't
mandatory,
Riddick
but
been an A side though, free? I'm asking because I want you to school because I didn't know. I didn't,
I'm
like I said, I
I'm
wasn't up on the politics back then.
back then there was no such thing as an A side, B side.
Uh,
There was no such thing. Most of the promotional companies were all working together. There wasn't
uh,
really no A side, B side, unless you had a Mike Tyson.
uh,
Unless you had a Mike Tyson,
huh.
that's when they really started
Yeah,
talking about A side, B side.
yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't really no A side, B side back then. It
Mm,
was just champion and everybody else. I
uh.
mean, nobody was really talking about A side, B side.
So what?
It was like
So I'm what I'm asking is because, like I said, I was a young boy back then, and when I went to school, me and all my friends was saying how the British boy was ducking the champ.
no,
We felt like he
it was
was.
just they just couldn't come to an agreement. It
That's
wasn't no
corny
duck.
though. And then Riddick threw his
You
belt
can't
away, and then
no, you
me
can't
and all my friends went to school like, yo, f the belt. I was like, nah, man, I
you
wanted
can't
Riddick to keep the belt, but
see the thing is you can't call it Lennox Lewis ducking when Lennox Lewis was pressing for the fight. He was pressing for
he
the
really
fight. He was
was.
the
He really
mandatory.
was. As a grown man, what I know now, he definitely was pressing. And I don't understand why Riddick, but I do because Riddick didn't want a 50-50 split with him. That I didn't know that, D Free. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
So
if anybody was considered a duck in that situation, it would have been Riddick Bowe.
hell no. Not if I'm the champ. You're not getting no 50-50 with
No,
me.
he
How
didn't.
we
He
gonna
didn't.
do 50,
Look,
60, 40? We not doing no
I,
50-50. How's that?
I understand
That's
what
why I
you're saying.
said Lennox price himself out.
No, I
Dub, I
understand
don't
what you're
know. Dub,
saying.
I'm wrong.
Well, the
I,
thing
I
is, I'm just be honest. I remember the fights. I don't really remember any
Yeah,
of
that's
the
what I'm saying.
politics
We was
because I
young. We
was
was
so
young.
young back
Right.
then. I
Right.
didn't, and there wasn't social media. It wasn't nothing like that. So
Right. Right.
I didn't
no,
see.
So it's
I
hard to
didn't
go
see none
against
of the
D Free.
negotiation. I didn't see none of the negotiations or anything like we kind of see today. So I can't say one way or another.
I,
I can't.
and
Freezy probably
this
was old enough to see
hold
to
up,
understand that shit.
hold up. The negotiation wasn't in the public. This
Right.
came from Riddick Bowe's mouth. He did it. He did it. Well, he didn't do an actual formal interview. He sat down and talked to Clarence McLean. This came from Riddick
Uh.
Bowe's mouth. He said the reason I didn't do the fight is because they wanted to do a 50-50 split. I did not want to give him a 50-50 split because I was the champion.
Right.
This
What's
came
wrong
from
with
Riddick
that?
Bowe. No, listen. That's what came from Riddick Bowe's mouth. But what I'm saying is, in that situation, if anybody was considered a duck, it would have been Riddick Bowe. He the one that
How?
gave up his belt because he gave up his belt and did not fight him. That's
Because
how.
he didn't want a 50-50 split because he's a effing
It
champion.
doesn't matter. That does not
It does
matter. That does
matter.
not. No, it does not. If
Back
you
then, when
don't
you're the
fight,
heavyweight champion, you're not getting no.
listen. No,
Okay, I'm
dog.
gonna
If you
listen because
don't,
you're older than me and you know more than me. Go ahead,
if
carry
you
on.
don't, it doesn't matter. If you don't fight the man and you give up your belt, you duck them. It doesn't
Nah,
matter if
free.
you the champion. No, it's even right now today. If
Nah,
you don't,
free.
the reason why the reason why I am calling Demetrius Bivol a duck for David Benavidez is because he gave up his belt and he's not fighting Arthur. He said, "I'm not fighting you because I'm gonna fight Arthur."
Yeah,
He gave up his belt, and now he's not even fighting Arthur.
you
I
ain't wrong
consider that
about
a
that. You ain't wrong
so
about that,
that's the
free.
same.
But I'm
That's
just
the same
saying,
way.
free. Like if I'm the
If you give,
champion of the world, I'm Mike Tyson is gone in jail. I'm Riddick Bowe. I just beat Holyfield. I'm running the show. You're not getting no 50-50 split with me. What make you like you said he was a mandatory Freezy. So what makes
dog,
he think he's going to get a GD 50-50 split with Riddick Bowe? That's some BS, bro. No way. You're not getting.
dog.
I'll do
Yeah, it does not.
60-40.
It does
I'll
not
do
matter.
55.
You,
No, I'm not doing no 50-50 split with you. You don't
it
got no
doesn't.
belts.
It
Who are
doesn't
you? I'm
matter.
undisputed.
You can do whatever. You're not undisputed, but
What am
you're the
I? What was
champion.
he?
He was the champion. He wasn't
He was
undisputed. He
undisputed.
was
He
the
beat
champion.
Holyfield.
He only threw away one belt. He only threw away the
All right.
WBO,
I don't
the
know.
WBC belt.
See, it's
He
hard
only
to
threw away
argue
the
against you.
WBC belt.
I can't win against you because you're older than me. So you was around and understand that type of ish that was going on the backside of it. See, I can't. I wasn't up on there. I was just wanting to see the fights, But I don't know, Dub. I guess I'm wrong. I could be
No,
wrong. Maybe I can't go against D Free, because he
Riddick
knows
Bowe didn't.
it's hard.
Riddick Bowe didn't
I,
have all.
hey,
He didn't have all of the belts.
Prize,
What
Riddick
did
Bowe
he
had.
have then?
hold on, Prize. I would tell you like this, and I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't argue with Free enough, and like you said, I
It's
think Free is very knowledgeable as far as what
yes.
was going on
So
back in
I'm
the
not going.
day.
It's hard to argue with the nigga
I wouldn't
or the
even.
brother. I'm sorry.
I ain't gonna plant my flag there, respectfully, because
Me neither. But I'm just saying.
I ain't planting my flag
I
there.
ain't planting no flag down. I'm just saying Freezy
No,
was
but
around.
what I'm
It's
saying
hard
is,
to argue with him if he's around to understand that was going on. And me, just as a Riddick Bowe super fan at the time, just like he
but
ducked. He ducked.
what I'm saying is, if you don't fight the fight and you give up your title, you duck them. Whether you
Nah.
feel like it's a valid reason for not fighting or not, it's
Because
still
he
a
was in
duck.
the champ. He was a mandatory.
No,
I didn't even know that,
same.
Free.
Hold up. The same way you don't believe that daggone Erson Lubin duck Boxron because he's fighting a more lucrative fight. It's still a
But
duck.
no, that's
Whether you
different, Free.
believe
You talking about heavyweight champion though, Free. That's different.
it doesn't. No, he's
It
about
does
to fight.
matter.
It's the same situation. It's the same situation. Yeah, Erson Lubin was the mandatory to Boxron. He decided to go fight daggone Virgil for more money.
But that was a different thing, though. Riddick Bowe was the
What are you
undisputed,
talking
or
about?
Riddick Bowe was the. I ain't gonna say undisputed. I'll say this: Riddick Bowe was the heavyweight champion of the world. D Free, right? Okay, so if a mandatory try to talk about some 50-50, man, get out of here. And the WBC said,
No,
hold on, Free, and the WBC be like, no, f that. You got to fight your mandatory, or you got to fight this. No, I'm not doing no 50-50. I'm the
no,
champ. And then he throw his belt away and like, I'm not fighting that bum. You know what I mean? Because Riddick
no.
Bowe, because Lennox wasn't nobody at the time. I feel like that it shouldn't have been no 50-50. If Riddick, it should have been, even if it was 60-40, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's different. But the champ was feeling the way. Riddick, you don't know what he was going through in his lifetime. He might wanted the payday. They was paying big money back then. Why couldn't he? What makes Lennox Lewis the mandatory thing? He can get 50-50 with the champ. That's all I'm
The nigga,
saying, Free.
the nigga duck. I don't care what you're saying.
Free,
He
that's not
ducked.
fair, Free. That ain't fair, Free. That's not fair.
Life ain't fair. Life
I
ain't
know,
fair.
and you're right, But the brother,
He ducked.
but Lennox doesn't have any. And Dub,
No,
and Dub, I'm gonna let you get it,
it
Dub.
does not
Am
matter.
I
It does
wrong?
not matter.
Like, who is he? The Riddick Bowe was the number one in the world. You know what I mean? The world. Who was he the mandatory to come after 50-50 for Riddick? Like, that's
He
just
didn't
like
come. He
Earl
didn't
and
come
Bud.
ask for anything.
Who got more
That
money,
he didn't.
Earl or Bud?
They got 50-50. What are you talking about?
They got 50-50. Okay, let's do another fight that wasn't 50-50.
What are you talking
hold on, Prize, real quick.
Hey, I'm wrong.
Hold on,
That's
no,
crazy. I'm wrong. Where the old heads at? Where Uncle Kaz at? Where the old heads at?
Hold on, Cat.
Ordered and free.
Hold on, Prize. It ain't about being right or wrong, but you looking for any excuse to make right now. You ain't just, instead of just going off of what the brother, the information he give, and like I said, because of the negotiation, I understand. I wasn't there. I can't speak on it as Free can, but at the same time, and shout out to Clarence, because Clarence, he doing great work. You know what I'm saying? Always at the fights, always showing up, showing out at the gyms, those type of things. But ain't no reason to go and search and say, well, what about this? What we doing that for? We ain't got to do that. I mean, if this what the information is that we got right now, as far as that fight go, we're going to just take the information and be like, well, shit, it is what it is.
So, Dub, a mandatory can demand 50-50. That's what you're saying. A mandatory.
Yeah,
Not a champion.
Hold on. It depends on who the man with Devin. So right now, right?
How old were you when Riddick and Holyfield fought?
Listen.
How old were you?
Prize.
Okay.
Prize, listen. So
Okay.
even today, right? When Devin about to fight Junior, right? I would expect Devin to get paid more than Junior in that fight. Even though Junior is the champion, I would expect Devin to get paid more. Why? Because he's more accomplished. And so it goes into the negotiations of things and how things work. Just because we may not necessarily agree with, I don't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Junior got a problem with it. I think they both gonna be compensated well at the same time. And like I say, I can speak to this fight a little better than I can speak to that one because I wasn't there for it. I wasn't there for the negotiation. I can only go off of what's been reported. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm listening to Free, I have to take Free at his word.
Me too.
I don't think Free. I don't.
But you clown me when I said it's hard to argue against Free. You said, "Oh, I could stand my flag in the ground," but Free.
No, it wasn't clowning you. No, I'm not clowning.
I know. But you know what I'm saying. Come on,
all I'm saying is if I can't make the arguments you making because I can't stick a flag in the ground and say this is what happened because I don't know exactly what happened.
Right. That's why I'm asking D Free. So it's okay for a mandatory to demand 50-50?
I give you a perfect example.
Okay.
Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. Shakur Stevenson went to the sanctioning body and said, I want 50-50.
They didn't fight. They didn't fight.
Why they didn't fight? Because the champion moved out of the division. The same situation.
Riddick ain't move out no division. He's a heavyweight. Where he going?
He didn't move out the division. He gave up his belt. But
he wasn't paying no sanctioning fees and splitting no 50-50 with no mandatory. It don't even work like that.
Listen. It does work like that because the sanctioning body can say, okay, even though you're a mandatory, but we see the value that you bring to the sport.
Oh, shit. See, so it's politics. That's why he threw the belt in the trash. That's why he threw the belt in the trash. Mike Tyson ain't split with nobody.
Listen. Stop talking and listen.
Okay.
That's what they can go by when you say, okay, I'm gonna take it to the sanctioning body and see what they want to do. Because the sanctioning body has the ultimate say so. The sanctioning body can say, okay, y'all not coming to agreement, then we're gonna step in and put the rules in place. This is what it's gonna be. And that's what Shakur did. He said, okay, I'm going to go to you and petition for 50-50, but it's going to be ultimately what you say. It never got to that point because Devin dropped the belt and moved out of the weight class. With Riddick Bowe, it never got to that point because Riddick Bowe dropped the belt.
Yeah, Free. You're 100% right, Free. It's and you know what? Hold on, Dub, real quick, Dub. I want to rebuttal, Dub. Come on, so I'm gonna forget. Let me rebuttal real quick, and then you can have it, because I don't even do all that talking. All I'm saying is this, Free.
This is a sick Negro.
That was a good drop. That was good. But he made me forget. But look, check it out.
This is a sick Negro.
He throwing me off.
You out of order.
Come on, man. BVO back from the dead, but
you out of order.
That's what I do. I'm a shooter on the channel. I'm always out of order.
We gonna have to
But
kneecap your ass one day.
you can kneecap me all you want, though. But listen, okay. At the time, Riddick Bowe, I'm gonna walk him down. Watch this. Riddick Bowe wanted to be
Watch this.
the next Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson wasn't around anymore, right? So now, ain't nobody came up to Mike and them talking about no 50-50, nothing. So Riddick Bowe mind frame at the time was like, he's a mandatory. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. I'm number one. I'm not splitting no 50-50 with no UK nigga. I'm not doing it. It's not happening.
But
Mike
Riddick
ain't
Bowe,
do it. Hold on. See, they cut prize off.
man, you better everybody
Oh,
else
all right.
regular
I'm
day.
gonna mute my mic then. But y'all see where I was about to walk shit down at.
Walk it down.
I'm gonna walk. Let me walk. Y'all keep throwing rocks at me on my path. Let me walk.
You out of order.
Yeah, that's right. He wanted Mike Tyson type of money. He wanted Mike Tyson type of deals. So the reason he threw the belt in the trash because the belt did exactly what D Freezy just told y'all. But Riddick wasn't with it. Big Daddy Bo was like, I'm not doing it. I'll throw this issue in the trash because I'm not splitting no 50-50 with no mandatory. Mike ain't splitting no 50-50 to heavy. He was a champ. Now it's my time, right? So Riddick wasn't trying to hear it. He wasn't doing no 50-50 because he felt like he was on Mike Tyson's level. You know what I'm saying? And Mike wasn't around, and Holyfield was around. He beat him. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to call from the UK to walk me down when I win the belt. After I win my first championship, you're going to step to me, and I check you, talking about you don't want to fight nothing. You ain't going to do nothing, you bum. Riddick stepped to him when he won the belts. Then he walked back, and then he had a celebration. Riddick wasn't trying. Hold on, Free. He ain't want to do no 50-50 because he shouldn't have to because he was the heavyweight champion of the world. Like Mike Tyson was at one point. You're not getting those 50-50 with me, bro. Come on, stop, Free. Stop that dumb ish, bro.
You said that 3 times. The
Man.
problem with your analogy is he wasn't on no Mike Tyson level.
But he thought he was. He was a champ.
Mike Tyson whooped his ass twice.
When?
No, he was not on Mike Tyson's level. He was not generating Mike Tyson money. The problem with that situation was Lennox Lewis was beating everybody. He was stopping everybody. Riddick Bowe had beat Evander Holyfield.
The number one man in the world.
These were the two biggest names at that time in heavyweight boxing. So that's why they said this is a 50-50 match. This is a 50-50 purse. We got the best guy beating everybody. We got the guy that just dethroned Evander Holyfield. Riddick Bowe wasn't selling out arenas like that. He wasn't a pay-per-view star. He wasn't generating money like that. So he couldn't demand, I'm not going to give him 50-50 because I'm the champion. He wasn't on that level. So you sitting there talking about
let me do this real
bullshit,
quick.
Free.
Let me hold on. Free cooked you, man. It's over.
So what? I don't care. But that's some bullshit.
Free cooked me before too. Free cooked.
I don't care about none of that cooking stuff. But I thought I just disagree. Disagree and not be cooked.
Listen, when we get past 2 hours, we can't clip it up. So what we gonna do is we gonna
I ain't going live.
Oh, you ain't going live?
Nah, you got it.
Then we gonna go home and sit down with our families. Then it's cool.
I'm chilling tonight.
Right.
I thought about it.
We did good.
I love Dub. I thought about it.
I'm chilling, man. Well, the thing is, man, going live, man, going live, man, that shit take a lot of energy to run a panel. Some folks don't. Some folks don't always run their panel. They let other folks run their panel.
Oh, you got
on a regular basis. So, run the panel.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
I run the panel Monday through Friday, man.
No names.
Shots fired.
Oh, no names. I ain't shooting no.
I'm trolling.
Monday through Thursday, I run the panel.
I'm trolling.
Shots at nobody. I'm just telling you what I'm gonna do.
I'm telling you what I'm gonna do. On that note, man, it's the Mighty Sports Talk Network, man. We talking about D Free, Puerto Rican Free, Dub Brightside Superstar, Prize, my right hand man, CDK.
Your mic out of order, man. We can't even hear you.
Doug Kennedy. Free, when the next football, Free?
Thursday.
Thursday? Damn.
Well, hey, free. So look, I don't know how because we're gonna have Thursday night football. I know you're gonna be calling the games, right?
Yeah.
I'm a call it. I'm not gonna call Thursday night football because I gotta take my wife to work.
Okay, cool. And that's perfect because me and you, we got to make sure we get Sister Fields. We got to give her time on Thursday. So
Right.
Yeah, what we're gonna do for Thursday night football? We're gonna
Somebody be
preview. We're gonna do a preview. We're gonna do a preview and break down the game. We're gonna do a preview and break down the game. But I'm not
okay,
gonna call it.
behind the
You breaking up. Your
we
mic out
can't.
of order.
BVO, we can't hear nothing you're saying, brother.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You're real.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do on Thursday night football? We're gonna do a preview and we're gonna break down the game. But I'm not gonna be able to call it.
All right, that's cool. But that works because we can do the breakdown from 6:30 to 8, then let the game happen, and we can also rock with Sister Fields. So
Yeah.
that work out. That work out perfect.
Yeah. All right.
BVO, go ahead.
Take us out of here, BBO.
He gonna break up.
All right, fine. I'll take us out of here, man. Let me get everybody last words. We're gonna do things the right way as we
Uh-huh.
do. BVO, we're gonna end with you since you gotta shut this thing down. So stick with us, BVO. Don't jump off the panel. Hot Rod, are you there, brother?
Yo,
Man, let me get your last words, family. What you got for me? So, and real quick, your Ennis Teller got this man got beat from pillow to post tonight. I don't know if y'all seen the fight.
Yes, I saw that, Dub.
Man got beat from pillow
wait,
to post.
that Cuban?
Yes, and beat. See,
Mhm.
hold on, real quick. I apologize for cutting you off, Hot Rod. I told this brother to stay on the damn panel so he can shut it down, and he gone. All right, Hot Rod. Go ahead, man.
That was crazy.
Oh no,
Your
I
LS
think
10.
we staying on here, man. Keep the conversation going. What you doing?
Damn,
Your Ennis Teller is that man got beat from pillow to post
Yes, he did.
against I can't say the brother name. I'm gonna fuck it up, so I don't want to.
Don't even try. But I saw that,
Abaso,
Dub. He got his ass whooped.
Abaso I'm gonna say Barroso, maybe I'm probably wrong with the name, but
damn, and I picked Teller to win in my daggone pick.
I
You
picked him
did free?
too. I picked him. I picked Tellez for a stoppage, and this man got
Damn.
the brake
He got
shoes beat off of
smoked.
him. They
That's
should have
that
stopped the
PBC
fight.
hype train, man.
They should have stopped the fight in the 12th round, in my personal opinion. I thought the ref could have stepped in and stopped the fight because it
He
was getting so
let him
damn
fight,
ugly.
Dub.
Say it again.
It got ugly, but he let him fight though.
They let him fight, but
So
that shit,
Bull made it out, you know.
but it got so ugly out there for
It
him.
did. It did. It got
I
ugly.
was looking
He
at
got
that. I'm
knocked
like,
out.
no, he didn't get stopped. He didn't get stopped.
Nah, he made
made
it.
it through. But
If
hell,
it
he lost every round.
Yeah, they could have stopped it in the 12th because he wasn't really doing like. But I'm saying, but the boy was a warrior. He let him, the ref let him, you know.
That
That
nigga
all.
went no, that nigga had his backs on the ropes and he was getting beat on.
Yeah, I
It
ain't
wasn't
gonna.
no
I was trying to
damn
make it
warrior.
interesting, but he got smoked.
It wasn't nothing warrior-ish about it. The nigga back was on the ropes and he was getting beat on.
He
That's
finished
what
the fight.
happened.
They should have stopped it in the 12th, but the boy they let him make it. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
I thought they
I,
were gonna stop it. I thought they were gonna stop it.
hopefully he be all right tomorrow. You know what I mean? For
Man,
real,
tell it.
real talk.
Now we know Teller is a hype job too. We know he a hype job because this dude and what a brother from? I think he's from like Portugal or some shit. I don't know where he's from. I say they respect Spain somewhere over there, but no, he put hands on this man. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't even a close fight. I was like I said, I picked Teller as the win by stoppage, and when I'm watching the fight, I'm like, what is this? What the hell is this? It was
Yeah,
a bad look. It was a bad look.
for sure. I mean,
All right,
that guy got smoked. I didn't think he was gonna get smoked out like that, but you know, that's boxing. That's
man,
why I
that
love it.
brother got his boot smoked, man. My God,
They
got his
ripped his
boot
pockets
smoked.
off his jeans. He didn't know where he was down the block. Didn't know what happened to him.
Shit,
But you know, it happened.
his damn pocket was on the canvas. What you mean? It was on the canvas
But
in
you
the
know what
12th
though?
round.
You know that don't mean he ain't done. You know what I'm saying? He just got smoked, but that don't mean you done.
Not, but then we because I think we rated this brother much higher than clearly what he is, and then he get in there with real competition. And I ain't gonna lie to you,
Yeah,
I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, this brother right here that he fighting, and once again, I don't want to mess the brother name up, and I apologize to the people. Um, a boss. I'm gonna call him a boss. I can't say his last name to save my life, but y'all go look the brother up, man. The brother from Germany. He from Germany. There we go. I'm looking at his resume right now. He from Germany. But man, he had putting hands, feet. Man, he was beating the dog shit out of this dude. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I didn't. And the crazy thing, these were the scorecards. I'm looking at the scorecards right now, and this is what Taylor is getting dropped into 12. 117 to 110, 115 to 112, and 116 to 111. It wasn't even a close fight, man. It wasn't close at all, in my opinion. Got the brake shoes beat off of him. Go ahead. I apologize, Bryce. Go ahead.
You was going. Nah.
I just thought that. Man. Like I said, I picked Tellez to win this fight, but smoked. Shout out to Lucas Bondi. Lucas Bondi, he got a unanimous decision. I thought he was gonna get a stoppage. Shout out to Jermaine Ortiz. He actually got a stoppage, a third round stoppage, I believe, third or fourth. I can't remember what round.
Unexpectedly,
and I had that being a unanimous decision, but he got a third round stoppage.
That's good, man.
Yeah, no. Shout out to him, man. He doing his thing. So, man, and shout out to what's my girl from Australia? I can't even call her name right now. I think her and Eddie, what's my boy name? What's Eddie's last name? The promoter.
Eddie Hearn?
Eddie Hearn, yeah, I believe they had something going on. Shout out to Eddie for picking the bad ones. But she went out there and I had her going to the decision. She got a stoppage. Man, it was some good fights today. It was some good fights.
I ain't mad at it, and that's what we need to talk about, them good fights today. Instead of 5 or 6 people, but there's some good fights today.
I got to catch a lot of them, so hey, I mean it is what it is. But
my most disappointing performance was that what was he dubbed Cuban? He shouldn't have got smoked like that. I ain't see that coming.
Now, you talking about Tellez?
Yeah, I ain't see that coming.
Yeah, he Cuban. I ain't see none of that.
I ain't see that coming, man. You're right. I ain't see that happen, bro. I was like, damn.
Especially and then the way it happened, bro. This man, he couldn't get away from nothing. You can't, man.
Can't make it up.
It was just a bad look for the brother.
What the other dude followed his game plan, and it was like, like the dude was like following him around. It was like, I don't know, man. It's like nothing he can do. He's getting hit with. I don't know, man. It was just weird, bro.
But the brother, and I don't want to mess his name, but I keep telling y'all that. But that brother, I think he was ranked number 1. You know what I'm saying? In the WBA or coming into the fight, and so that's why the fight kind of got ordered. In the WBA, Tellez, he wasn't the champion. Well, he was the regular champion, and then they got the super champion. But the champion, the regular champion is the one who take the mandatories on, and I believe he was the mandatory, and man, got the brake shoes beat off of him, man. Got the brake shoes beat off of him.
I mean, that's what happened in boxing. That's why we love it and cover it, But it is what it is. I wasn't expecting that, I was just like, damn. Didn't think Cuban boy would get cooked like that, but it happens. That's why we love it.
I ain't saying that Tellez can't come back.
No, he'd be all right, but he just got smoked. It happens.
Who he gonna be? When you get whooped like that, who he gonna be?
Nobody probably, but that don't mean he can't come back. Get some paydays.
I guess. I mean, hey, let me find them right here. Oh, damn. Yeah. All right, there we go. Tellez at and we were talking about this the other day, the 154-pound division. Tellez, he the regular champion behind Bud Crawford, and we don't expect Bud to come back to 54. Me personally, I don't expect him to come back to 54. So, the brother, Abbas, I'm gonna call him Abbas. Man, he went in and put hands on that man. That shit was nasty. That shit was nasty work, bro. It was nasty work. But that just proved that the 54 division is a much tougher out than a lot of these divisions, man. I ain't see this happening like it just happened. I ain't see it.
But it's like college, boy, with the Big 12 and the Big 10 and all that, bro. It's stacked.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
54 is stacked, boy. I want to see some fights. I want to see Jerron, man. I want to see him get past this guy in Philly, man. Then I want to see him cook in his next fight. 54, I want to see. I don't know if he can make 54 though, Charlo. But man, if Charlo would have been able to make 54, well, it would be super interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Charlo gonna fight at
I don't
54
think.
again.
I think he would go to 60, bro. If anything,
Hey,
I don't
real
think
quick, let me
Mhm.
get TD Sports, man. You in the building? Is that you?
Yo, yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
Sorry,
TV.
I don't. BVO told me that he was trying to shut the live. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
nah, you can shut it
Everything.
down.
No, yeah, you're going to shut it down.
We
We
good.
good. We good.
Yep.
Oh, okay, all right, because he said he was having trouble. So
Yeah,
Good.
shut it
I
down.
Well,
We
got
good.
you know,
Shout out to you,
BVO,
TV.
BVO done been out of order for the longest. So, I mean,
it.
BBL moving around. You know, he
uh,
doing his thing. You know, doing
Okay,
what doing
make
what
yeah,
sure
because
Uncle
I'm
would
protect.
do.
watching the main event now. Yanquiao Rivera against Cordova.
Yeah, I'm
It's
finna
kind
go
of a
watch the rest of the fights.
Me
yeah,
too.
it's a
What round
sloppy
they in?
fight. Round 6 of 12.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go put that
yeah,
on real quick.
I just saw that Telez just got upsetted.
Man,
Mm-hmm. We
he
was
got
just talking about he got smoked.
the
Yeah,
break.
I didn't see that. I just saw the result. I'm
Man,
gonna rewind it and watch that next.
man had his back on the ropes the entire time.
He just loved
And
the ropes. He just
and
lived on the ropes.
I thought the fight should have been stopped in the 12th round, in my opinion.
See, I thought that. I mean, he was getting hit with bombs, but I mean, he wasn't going down. So I let the man finish, you know. But that's how I felt.
For
Mm,
what?
Well, he
okay.
definitely lived on the ropes, though. Dub ain't wrong, though. TD, he ain't wrong.
Okay. Well, let me watch the rest of this fight. You guys,
Yeah, man. Peace out,
have a
man.
good
Shout out
night.
to the guys. SCN, you know what it is. Shout out.
Hey,
All
salute,
Peace.
right,
Fab.
guys. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out Sports Talk Network. Take care. Enjoy your weekend, your Saturday night. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.